I don't know. Logan Maxwell revenge game. I don't know.
I mean, probably just trying to figure out who's going to be the full-time DH. Now, I understand he also pitches, so he may be in the bullpen tonight.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Cajillo.
Yep.
From down under. Yeah, the challenge is once you pinch hit him, he can't come into pitch because you've already burned him. And same thing if he comes into pitch, and then if he's in the game, he can hit. But once you take him out, he's burned. Yeah, he could do that. Yeah, and oftentimes you'll see, like if they have a two-way guy, for example, like say Dante Lewis, for example, is pitching. Let's say that Kansas State starts him. They can make him their pitcher DH, and then when they take him out of the game as a pitcher, he can remain in as DH. These guys are playing well.
13-0 start last year for the Horned Frogs. Lost 21 of their last 41 games. And now they take on an Arkansas team who was humbled yesterday. A 3-2 loss against Kansas State. Razorback starting lineup brought to you by Amegy Bank. As a result, head coach Dave Van Horn has made a couple new additions. The former TCU Horned Frog, Logan Maxwell, bats third at DH after sitting out yesterday. Cam Koziel was just a pinch hitter. Now he bats in the 5-hole. And Gabe Frazier gets his first start of the weekend in the 8th spot. All against the Wichita State transfer, the talented Tommy Lepore, who was outstanding in his team debut last weekend.
Yeah, it's a major league arm, and he's got a heater that's going to sit in the mid to upper 90s, and Lepore has touched 99. It's a power slider, power changeup, and the key for him is command. He just needs to get quickly settled into the strike zone. His head coach Kirk Sarlo said he just made great strides developing the mental side of the game, but he's a big body pitcher, great durability. He thinks he's a perfect guy for a Saturday start to get him deep into games.
This is how they line up behind Lepore. Did make an error last night. That's been a big point of emphasis this weekend after TCU booted 7 balls in their first 4 games last week at San Diego. A couple newcomers into the lineup tonight. The big one to watch is Preston Gamster gets the start at third base. Will also hit leadoff, while the Horned Frogs get their leader Carson Bowen, the veteran catcher who got the night off last night. He's in there behind the dish. It's 5th-ranked Arkansas, 22nd-ranked TCU. We expect this to be the biggest crowd we have all weekend at Globe Life Field. You can feel the energy already as you get a look at Kirk Sarlos, the 4th-year head coach at TCU. Charles Davalon heading into the box. This will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a big league park here at Globe Life Field in Arlington. It's a big league atmosphere. This place is packed.
Had about 14,000 fans on hand last night for the Arkansas-Kansas State game. Most of those fans were Arkansas fans, and we expect even more tonight, pushing up near 20,000. Saturday night, weekend 2 between 2 top 25 teams, and we're ready to go. Davalon pulls back after showing bunt, and the fastball misses outside. Top of the order wasn't the issue last night for Arkansas. Davalon got on base. The guy who follows him, Vahiva Aloy, had a big night. That one swung on and missed, but Arkansas got next to no production, guys. 5 through 9 went just 3 for 20, Pat, with 8 strikeouts, and that was really the bugaboo that plagued this Arkansas team in their shocking regional loss last year in Fayetteville, as that swung on and missed.
Yeah, left a lot of runners on base last night. That was a big problem, especially for the bottom half of that lineup. And right now, Tommy Lepore just showing you what kind of electric fastball he's got. Has blown 2 right by Davalon. He's going to have to cut that swing down.
The 1-2 runs outside. You can tell he's fired up. 97, and he can go even faster than that.
Yeah, Davalon's got that big leg kick, and the key for him, get that front foot down, especially with a guy throwing mid-90s.
Foul tip, strike 3, handled by Bowen for the first out. Even though this is a pseudo home game for TCU, doesn't feel like that based on the fans, but they make some noise.
Yeah, just 3 fastballs that Davalon was late on each one. That time fastball tailing away from him, and you see the late movement off of Tommy Lepore's right arm as well. It's not only an electric fastball, but it's got late life.
Brings up Vahiva Aloy, had himself a night at shortstop. Fastball just a shade outside. Aloy 2 for 4 and tried to give Arkansas some life. He was part of a big inning that saw the Aloy brothers each hit solo homers that tied the game. Takes that one in there, strike 1. Well, aren't going to win a lot of games when your only offense comes on solo homers. That was the case last night for Arkansas, but they love what they have in the 2nd-year shortstop, Vahiva Aloy, as the slider bounces in the dirt.
Yeah, Aloy, great talent, future high-round draft pick. He's got a lot of tools. His head coach Dave Van Horn said, I'd like to be a little bit more vocal, but he's just one of those tremendous quiet leaders.
Fouls one off, and it's 2-2. Here's how it looked yesterday. Arkansas needed a boost. They were down 2-0. It was getting late, and then he did this.
Yeah, backside home run, and just did a great job of working that count. Let that ball get deep, and he squared it up.
Also the coolest home run catch you'll see. Nice and casual.
It was.
Outside. That guy made it look easy. And then Vahiva's younger brother, Kuhio, who's not in the lineup tonight, he went yard 2 batters later. Something that at the major league level has only been done 6 times since 1900. Brothers homering in the same inning. Chopper to the left side. Gamster plays back on it and makes a strong throw to retire Aloy for the second out.
Yeah, strong throw by the freshman third baseman for TCU, Preston Gamster. Take that ball in the big second hop and just wound up and threw a strike to first base.
He's more of a second shortstop over there. The JUCO transfer, they're really high on at TCU. And speaking of TCU, this guy used to play there, Logan Maxwell. Honorable mention, all Big 12 after a great 2024. Takes a called strike, and he was a key cog in that TCU team that beat Arkansas 2 years ago in their own ballpark in Fayetteville en route to the Horned Frogs' trip to Omaha.
Yeah, that's going to feel weird for some of these veteran players, TCU, to see him wearing Arkansas red.
It is a little odd as he swings and misses.
Yeah, big-time talent, Logan Maxwell, and an opportunity to anchor the middle of this lineup for Arkansas. Brings a ton of power.
Fouls it back, 96 on that heater. Maxwell had some pro interest, but he decided transfer portal was the solution for him and gets 1 more year at the college level. Launches a changeup, just missed. It's 1-2.
Yeah, good pitch by Lepore with that 0-2 count. Just something down soft in the zone. Trying to change the look, change the timing. See if he goes back to that breaking ball.
Got him. 96 with the cheese as he wipes out the former Horned Frog, Logan Maxwell. A great start for Tommy Lepore. Gets the Razorbacks in order with a couple punch outs. It's TCU coming to bat next.
Possibility. At Shriners Children's, we deliver healing to kids with critical burn injuries, like game-changing advances in regenerative medicine and creating the highest standard of care. We never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs, proving time and again what's possible by empowering the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
Possible Missions and their dedicated Amegy business banker work together to put the us in business banking by sharing the same values both in the office and out in the community. Now it's your turn with your own dedicated Amegy business banker with banking experience in your industry. Because you're more than a customer, we're more than a bank, and together we'll help put your business on solid financial footing with comprehensive financing options, earned interest on your accounts, and yes, by being a true community partner. Here we collaborate. Here you grow.
TCU retires the Razorbacks 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Here's how the Horned Frogs line up, brought to you by Amegy Bank. They'll get the newcomer to the organization, Preston Gamster, right in there at the top of the order, hitting leadoff. While Carson Bowen is back in there, he bats 6th after getting the night off last night. Off to a great start. Best average on the team through 5 games at .500 for TCU. And just like Tommy Lepore for TCU, who shoved in the first inning, Arkansas has a really good-looking player. A transfer coming in. Root was in line to be the ace this year at East Carolina, Pat. Instead, he comes to Fayetteville, and they have a good one.
Yeah, big-time transfer for Arkansas. And, Ben, you wanted the pitchers duel? Well, at least on paper, we got you one. Yeah, Zach Root, one of the top pitchers in the 25 draft class, and a tremendous command of 4 pitches. That's what makes him so good. It's the low 90s fastball, but he backs it up with the nasty curve, the cutter, the changeup. He can throw the kitchen sink at you and still get you out. This guy's really good. Been looking forward to seeing him throw the baseball.
Here's how the Arkansas defense looks. They've been very clean this year, just 2 errors in 5 games. Do have a couple new starters tonight. Gabe Frazier at second, Cam Kojal at first. And the lefty fires a first pitch strike, 95 on the gun to Preston Gamster, who's from Dallas and played JUCO ball at Paris in the state. Rocks back and fires another fastball in there. What's nice about the pitching matchup too tonight, Pat, is it's not just 2 high-quality transfer arms. It's the fact they've already gotten that first start jitters out of the way, and they both pitched really well.
Just misses. Yep. No, you're exactly right. And you know, settle in quickly. These guys are both going to be top of the rotation guys here with Root and Lepore, but Root can be really counted on to be a Friday or Saturday type starter. He has established himself as one of Arkansas's top rotation options for Dave Van Horn.
Just catches a piece, does Gamster, on a changeup. You say this about both starters. The velocity, it mirrors what a big leaguer throws. I mean, it's 95 plus with a fastball, changeup mid to upper 80s. And there's movement on both pitches. Just misses inside as he cracks the fastball at 94.
Yeah, Chris Koski, the home plate umpire, thought that ball was in off the plate. We'll take a look at it. What does the pitch track show us? Great call. Just a bit inside.
Blake Felix last game had a bit of a wider zone behind the plate. 2-2, swung on and missed. We mentioned the fastball. We mentioned the changeup. Oh, yeah, and then there's a slider at 88.
And it's nasty. Yeah, downward tilt to this pitch, really difficult to pick up. It's one of those high spin rate sliders, and hitters will tell you they just don't see the spin off his hand. Gamster showing you right there, just swings right through that pitch.
Root struck out 8 in his debut last Friday, went 5 innings, gave up just a single run on 2 hits against Wazoo. Bases Isaac Cadena, who had a 2-run homer yesterday. Takes the slider outside. What you wonder about tonight, though, is it was great pitching weather for Root and the whole Arkansas staff last weekend. I mean, frigid temperatures at Baum Walker. The pitchers all were great. Fastball in there on the outer half. Now you go indoors. Even though it's the big league ballpark, we have tended to see teams put up runs in bunches here over the years. And TCU did it last night, scoring 10 with a couple of crooked innings against Michigan.
Anytime you have a pitcher like Root, of course, there's Arkansas fans are going to compare anybody they have now going forward to Hagen Smith. He's not Hagen Smith. There's only one of those guys, but he's a really close option. He's got a little funk in his delivery, hides the ball well. Again, we talk about the 4-pitch command. That's just, you don't see that very often in college baseball.
It's a swing and a miss there out in front of the slider. Hagen Smith, the reigning SEC and NCAA pitcher of the year, left Fayetteville first all-time in program history, 360 strikeouts. The curveball a little up and in as it's 3-2.
Yeah, Cadena not giving an inch in that box. Hangs in there on that high, tight slider.
Outside, ball 4. Good AB for Cadena, who has been seeing the ball well all weekend, and it's our first base runner of the day.
Yeah, very disciplined hitter, and easily could have chased that slider just off the plate. That's a tough pitch to hang off, full count. Good eye for Cadena, earns himself a walk.
The Ohio State transfer followed his former head coach Bill Mosiello back to Fort Worth. Coach Mo now the hitting coach, second stint with TCU. As Chase Brunson is up, takes a ball and a great jump by Cadena as he swipes second base. Second steal this year for Cadena.
Well, that's just great scouting, you know, picking up from Root. You know, what does he show first pitch? Does he go to first? Does he go home? You saw that knee cross the rubber. He committed himself to going home, and great pickup by Cadena. Huge jump. Yeah, no way Ryder Helfrich had a shot at him.
Chase Brunson into center. Justin Thomas Jr. went in. Now ranges back and makes the catch. Does allow Cadena to tag as he goes to third after the second out is recorded.
This is a Bill Mosiello offense. Coach Mo welcomed back with open arms by his head coach Kirk Saarloos. Of course, great friends, and he was just anxious to get him back from Ohio State. But he stamps this offense with a lot of aggressiveness. These Horned Frogs will run, and they'll continue to run until you stop them.
TCU as a team has a 983 OPS, on base percentage plus slugging so far. As the first pitch slider misses outside to Noah Franco. You might get that out of one slugger in the 4 spot. Not an entire team. But 6 different guys. As this one swung on and missed. Nice looking slider. 6 have individual OPS over 1,000 in the early season.
Yeah, it's a very talented lineup, but I would compare them to Arkansas's lineup in terms of just the combination of speed and power. This TCU team has it all.
Exclusively sliders on the lefty-lefty matchup. Noah Franco, one of the best freshmen in the country, takes that on the inner half. Named Big 12 preseason freshman of the year.
Well, that's the pitch against Franco. Something down and away, breaking off his barrel.
Check swing. He goes. Welcome to top-level college baseball. Noah Franco, what a sequence by Zach Root as he works around the 1-out walk. Might be in store for a pitching duel tonight as we go to the second inning.
Yeah, nasty slider. Nasty slider. Unhittable.
The legend of the Lone Star. The power of thousands. AEW's biggest event ever in the United States. This is All In. AEW All In Texas. Live Saturday, July 12th, 2025 from Globe Life Field in Arlington. All Elite Wrestling, biggest event of the year. Tickets and exclusive VIP packages are on sale now. Go to AEWTIX.com now for more information.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. With professional grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Elevate your ballpark experience with a tour of Globe Life Field and experience the home of the Texas Rangers like never before. Go behind the scenes and explore premium spaces, unique club settings, luxury suites, and more. Along the way, you'll discover rich history, impressive architecture, and fun photo opportunities around every corner. Globe Life Field's many tour offerings are sure to take your ballpark visit to the next level. For more information and to book your experience, visit globelifefield.com.
Just underway from Texas. It's 0-0 between Arkansas and TCU, part of the Amegy Bank College Baseball Series presented by Kubota. And all 3 weekends of the college baseball here at Globe Life benefit Shriners Children's with a portion of ticket sales going to a worthy cause that is dedicated to improving the lives of children around the world. To donate, scan the QR code on your screen or visit globelifefield.com/collegebaseball. Called strike to Brent Iredale leading off the second. That's what's great about this weekend in particular, Pat, because Arkansas brings more fans than anybody. And as part of that, Shriners will get a good chunk on the donation front, which is just the cherry on top to already 3 great weekends of baseball.
Yeah, you're right, Ben. It's a great cause. And, you know, they sponsor the first weekend of games, but then obviously you can continue to donate throughout the next couple of weekends. And, you know, those Arkansas fans, TCU fans have been very generous over the years.
0-2 to Brent Iredale. Good slider on 0-2, down and out of the zone. We haven't heard many hog calls so far since we've been here. Tommy Lepore trying to keep it that way. He's off to a great start. This is outside, 96 on the gun.
Yeah, speaking of good starts, Brent Iredale for Arkansas came out of the JUCO ranks and gonna be one of those guys that they'll stick in the middle of this lineup. A lot of power. Tom takes a third strike, nasty at the kneecaps.
Talk about painting the black. Tommy Lepore, 3 Ks in his first 4 batters faced.
Yeah, another look at that pitch. It was a fastball down and away. Came back towards the plate. According to Chris Koski, it caught it. It sure did. What a call. The pitch ends up right on the corner.
I mean, out of the hand, that thing looked 6 inches off the plate. It's 95. You have no time to react.
Big time movement.
You just tip your cap. Cam Kojul fouls one off. The Vanderbilt transfer didn't play against Arkansas last year. They didn't have him on the schedule, but he had a huge freshman season. 291 a year ago for head coach Tim Corbin. He turns on one, but hooks it foul down the line. How about that? You play for Tim Corbin and Dave Van Horn, 2 of the best coaches all time.
Yeah, 2 legends, that's for sure. Yeah, the age of college baseball with the transfer portal. And that's what we're seeing more and more of.
The 0-2. Sinker down low in the dirt. And in this new era, now it's not uncommon to see guys stay in conference. See Coach Van Horn. We'll talk with him in the bottom half of the next inning. Swing and a miss. A little sinker as Lepore takes something off. 2 up, 2 down, both on punch-outs.
Yeah, I think that's the changeup, and it's a heavy changeup as well. We talk about the 4-pitch mix. Well, that's a plus changeup. Ball comes out of his hand. Great arm speed. Looks like a fastball coming out. That ball just dips and dives away from the left-handed hitting Kojul.
4 of the first 5 batters for Arkansas down on strikes. And Kendall Diggs has a wave and a miss. You can tell Arkansas, they're just looking for something to avoid getting behind in these counts, but it isn't working.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something to just put the ball in play, try to make this defense make some plays. They start to see some bunt attempts. Anything to get some activity, because so far Lepore is just pouring it on.
Back to that change with good run on it. Starts inside, comes back over the inner half, and it's 1-2 to Kendall Diggs.
Yeah, just a nasty pitch to these left-handed hitting Razorbacks.
And we talk about general team revenge on the mind. Really only applies to some of the individuals who remember that, and Kendall Diggs was part of that Arkansas team from a couple years ago. He turns on this one to right. It gets down. Ready for that 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and Kendall Diggs has the first hit of the night for either team.
Yeah, that's just a veteran, mature hitter, Kendall Diggs. You know, had the first fastball blown right by him. It was up in the zone. This time he gets the foot down, just shortens up that swing, gets the barrel to it. Just knew he had to be quick, especially anything that was coming to the inside part of the plate. Diggs showing you how to 2-strike hit against Lepore.
Brings up Ryder Helfrich. 1 for 4 yesterday. Stays in the 7 spot for Arkansas. Diggs on the move. It's a fastball up and in, and Kendall Diggs has a 2-out steal.
Yeah, not an especially good jump for Diggs. Lepore got the ball, delivered it quickly to the plate, but Carson Bowen threw to the third base side of the bag. If that throw is on the money, Diggs would have been out.
Yeah, poor jump, 96-mile-an-hour heater, and yet he gets in there. slider for strike one on Ryder Helfrich.
So I'll make a prediction, Ben. I think the team that has the most 2-out RBI hits today wins.
I like that prediction. Swing and a miss.
You just get a feel for this game early on with Root and Lepore both showing great command early on. It's going to be one of those scrappy, gritty games, and maybe a manufactured run wins it.
Another slider, just low. 2-2 to Helfrich. His older brother Leighton played for UC Davis. Helfrich got to start a bunch as a freshman, back as a sophomore after a great summer on the Cape. Sends one back up the middle, but perfectly positioned is Cole Kramer on the left side of second base. The second baseman brings it in. 0-0 to the bottom of the second. We'll check in with Arkansas head coach Dave Van Horn right after this.
First, at Shriners Children's, the world's most advanced scoliosis procedures are born here. In fact, we deliver access to the world's best doctors for nearly every pediatric orthopedic condition. We're delivering care without compromise is our promise. And kids can just be kids. Because being first always starts with empowering the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
There's an old saying, everything's bigger in Texas. Well, let's just say, IndyCar is about to go to a whole nother level. Get ready, Arlington. This is where history is made, and champions are born.
Good start for both pitchers as we go to the bottom of the second. Arkansas and TCU. Zach Root back on the mound for the Razorbacks with 5, 6, and 7 due up against Arkansas. Root really good in the first inning. Had a 1-out walk, but a couple of punch-outs to start his night. You see the lefty on the hill, and right now we're joined by his head coach. Dave Van Horn joins us. Our in-game interviews brought to you by Amegy Bank. Coach, I'm sure you missed a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel. I haven't seen one in quite a while, but here we are. Good start for both guys on the mound. What do you make of your lefty, Zach Root, in his second start in a Hog uniform?
I thought he looked pretty good. You know, he even his misses were really close, and you know, that's what you want to see. There was a couple of calls we thought could have gone 50-50, and we didn't get a break there, but you know, he's matching their guy, and their guy's really good.
Hey, Dave, Pat Combs here. When you have an anticipated pitcher's duel, is there a different message to the offense, or are you thinking a different approach, especially with the way this has started out?
Well, I mean, when you're facing pitchers with this type of talent and velocity, and you just have to see what they give you a little bit. But we're trying to be aggressive. I mean, he's throwing his fastball for a strike against us, really throwing everything for a strike. And you know, obviously we were pretty aggressive stealing. They were as well, and just trying to get somebody in scoring position, because maybe you can flip one in and get you a 1-0 lead.
Well, on a staff that has been so elite, so consistently like yours, Coach, we sometimes get lost in the shuffle, the catcher behind the plate. We watched Ryder Helfrich last inning. Reading about his journey this summer, I mean, I saw he had his baseball reference page. He put it on a home screen of his phone, just so motivated to grow from some of the struggles last year. And for being an underclassman, getting that start behind the dish, what have you seen out of Ryder, not only at the plate, but also as a leader, helping that relationship with your pitchers?
Well, last year, you know, he was behind a really good catcher, an upperclassman, and, you know, he could, at a lot of places, you know, he would have been starting as a freshman. He's one of the best receivers I've ever had, and, you know, I've had some big leaguers, so that says a lot about him. He's a tough kid, his makeup, his work ethic, and yeah, he wants to get better. And he went out and he did it in the Cape. He had home runs, drove in runs, and played really good defense.
Yeah, Dave, last question for you. You know, you guys just seem to just reload every year, and you've made great use of that transfer portal. You know, what's the key to that for your guys and the recruitment going on there?
Well, honestly, the key is getting high school kids first, and you know what I mean by that is you want to build around those guys, so you know you don't have to go out and just get 10 guys every year, because when guys come in, they're draft eligible, they get better, and they sign. If you keep some good high school kids from signing, get them, build around them, get them some experience as a freshman, and it just makes a huge difference. But you got to get the right ones out of the portal. You got to get ones that really care about getting better, and they want to help the team win.
Sure thing. A great atmosphere tonight. Pretty fun stuff for us here up in the booth. We'll let you get back to it, Coach. Enjoy the rest of the game. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, thanks, guys. See you later.
A strikeout to Colt Kramer to start the inning. Carson Bowen lines a shot into left. So both teams able to turn around one fastball against the opposing pitcher, and based on the crowd reactions, you can kind of tell the fans get a sense, Pat, there will be hits few and far between, it feels like tonight, at least while the starters are in there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you know, the way this game is shaped up, you just kind of have to know, like Coach said, it's going to be one of those games where you may have to manufacture a run, and you're looking to get guys on, try to move them over. If you've got guys with speed, maybe you take that chance and try to get a stolen base. But yeah, you just kind of anticipate this is going to be one of those games.
0-1 to Sam Myers. Hit a walk-off in this exact series last year at Globe Life Field against USC in the 11th inning.
Well, I was interested to hear the answer in terms of how the Hogs use that portal so well. You know, you lose Hagen Smith, Brady Tigert, Mason Malini, your top 3 guys in your rotation. They promote Gabe Gackle from closer to starter. They go out and get Root. Then we'll see a pretty good left-hander tomorrow night.
And the Razorbacks, as much as Dave Van Horn said, you don't want 10 transfers every year. Well, they did bring in 10 this year, rated as the second best transfer class in the country. Fouled straight back, 0-2.
Yeah, I think you're right, though. You've got to find and build your program around, you know, talented players that are going to be in the program at least a couple of years. You know, some of these freshmen will be draft eligible next year, depending on age and such. But yeah, you still have to build the program around young players, and you try to fill the gaps with the transfer portal guys.
0-2. Fouled off by Myers. We've seen all the shots of the Arkansas fans making the trip this week. This is nice for them. Early look at their team. Ultimately, it's not what matters, though. It's June and late May to an extent. They expect their team to get out of regionals. Arkansas has not done that each of the last 2 seasons, much to the dismay of their fan base.
Yeah, it's been frustrating for the Hog fans, but you know, that's college baseball. You can have a great season and then just, you know, not be playing your best ball at the end of the year, and that's when it counts. So part of our questioning about, you know, to some of these SEC coaches that come in for these types of weekends is, do you feel like there's maybe an emotional exhaustion as you get towards the end of the season?
Just outside, 1-2.
Boy, Root just continues to stay on those corners, and when he misses, it doesn't miss by much.
Emotional exhaustion, that's not in the vocabulary of the fans, though.
That's right.
And they're locked in. It's game 6 this year. There's a slider outside, 2-2.
Well, you can look at it both ways from a coaching perspective. You can say, hey, we're battle tested, battle ready. We get to the postseason. You know, we've been through the gauntlet in the SEC. Or you could also think, you know, going through the gauntlet in the SEC can take a lot out of you.
It certainly worked to the latter last year. 2-2, punched up the middle, slow roller. They'll try to turn it 4-6, but not in time. The good running Myers beats the throw from Aloy. 4-6 on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, great decision by Gabe Frazier, the Hog second baseman. Had to decide if he was going to try to tag Bowen. Bowen had stopped to avoid the tag, and so he turns around and flips it. He'd already committed that way anyway, but yeah, he felt like that was the best chance at trying to turn 2 on Myers. Myers can fly, though, down the base path.
Beats it out and keeps the inning alive for Anthony Silva. At one point, a heart of the order hitter for TCU, but struggled last year. Makes a called strike on a changeup. Head coach Kirk Saarloos feels like Silva's got the mojo back, had a great fall in preseason, and now he can throw him in that 8-hole, and it's a legit power bat with his confidence back at the bottom of the order.
Yeah, Silva's one of those players. I mean, you just throw him out at shortstop because he's so good defensively, but you know, hitting wise, he's improved. He's made some good jumps over the past couple of years. Kirk Sarlo says this could be a breakout year for him.
All off the glove of Helfrich allows Myers to go to second. Saw that little slide step there from Zach Root, and that one got away from him. A changeup with a ton of tail.
Yeah, just didn't stay behind that changeup, and ball just took off. Helfrich did all he could to try to corral it.
The freshman All-American a couple years ago, Anthony Silva. Watches a good looking curveball, lock him up, find the outer half.
Yeah, backdoor breaker. It's a pitch that's easy for a right-hander to give up on.
Upstairs on the fastball, 2-2.
Yeah, that's a show-me pitch. He wants that ball elevated, see if he gets Silva to offer at it, but he'll come back here with something soft. He showed you how he wanted to get him out with that first pitch.
The 2-2 with 2 outs. Nothing in the second. High fly ball to medium center field. Justin Thomas Jr. all over it and makes the catch. Second straight inning where TCU does get 1 runner on, but Zach Root been too good so far. Nothing to the third.
Bowman Engineering and Consulting and their dedicated Amegy business banker worked together to put the us in business banking, which included the occasional lunch meeting. Now it's your turn with your own dedicated Amegy business banker with banking experience in your industry, because you're more than a customer, we're more than a bank, and together we'll help put your business on solid financial footing with comprehensive financing options, earned interest on your accounts, and yes, planning sessions whenever you need them. Here we collaborate. Here you grow.
Arlington, the Renegades are going full throttle this spring when the UFL returns.
What a catch!
Get ready for more action-packed football and unforgettable experiences at Choctaw Stadium.
That is something special right there.
Renegades, mount up and get your tickets today.
It's 0-0 going to the third. Arkansas fans have been here in full force since yesterday. The Razorbacks have played the night game, Pat, each of the first 2 days, but the Hogs have still been here at first pitch of game number 1, and there's a reason why they like this place. 7-3 all time at Globe Life Field. Last night was definitely a rarity as far as the Hogs not producing runs when it mattered most.
Yeah, that's exactly right, but they look to bounce back. It's a strong team, and there's going to be no panic in that dugout. 7-3 all-time record at Globe Life Field, and yeah, you play Arkansas, those fans are going to be here. You know that. They show up, they show out, and they are loud and strong. And this place is filled with a lot of Arkansas red tonight. You see some sprinklings of purple, but the Razorbacks fans have showed up in force.
And we were surrounded by Arkansas fans at the post-game meal last night. I mean, it was like a race to get a table here in Arlington. Made for some fun post-game conversation. Third time that these two have met in this venue as part of these start of season tournaments. Arkansas won back in 2021. TCU won in 23. With a fastball outside.
Well, how about a couple of identical pitching lines with these two pitchers, Root and Lepore. Lepore, 2 innings coming into the inning, was 34 pitches, 21 strikes. On the other flip side of that, Zach Root, 34 pitches, 22 strikes.
Tommy Lepore behind 2-0 to Gabe Frazier, leading off the top of the third. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, those big long swings just aren't going to play tonight, not with this 96, 98 mile-an-hour fastball.
This is the first career start for Gabe Frazier, his first career at bats. As he cracks one to the left side, caught. Anthony Silva makes the catch.
Yeah, that time Frazier goes nice and short swing, hits a great line drive right at, unfortunately for him, Anthony Silva. Stayed inside that baseball really well. Anywhere else it would have been a hit.
The last 3 hitters for Arkansas, as much as Lepore was untouchable, the first 5 guys, base hit, line out to second, now a line out to short as Justin Thomas Jr. watches a slider bounce in the dirt.
Yeah, you heard their head coach Dave Van Horn say, you know, we're going to stay aggressive. He's throwing strikes. He's around the zone. Fastball it's hot, but if he misses over the middle, our guys are geared up to hit it. We're going to stay aggressive in the strike zone.
Fastball just misses 2-0. TCU has a pretty good track record with their head coach Kirk Saarloos when it comes to Wichita State transfers. They brought in Peyton Tolley last year from the Shocker program, and all he did was be named Big 12 Pitcher of the Year and Newcomer of the Year. As this one's lined to left, clean base hit for Justin Thomas Jr., second hit of the night for the Hogs.
Yeah, Hogs starting to swing it a little bit better here against Lepore. Bottom half of the lineup making good contact. Justin Thomas collects the second hit of the night. Good job turning on that inside fastball.
Has to feel good after he wore the collar last night, struck out 3 times in 4 trips. Coach Dave Van Horn has said they feel like Thomas is a bona fide second leadoff guy. They could easily bat him at the top of the order. Instead, Davalon has that spot. He takes a first pitch changeup for a ball.
Well, first time around the lineup, you know, hitters talk to each other. They communicate. They say, hey, here's what it looks like. Here's the spin. Here's the movement. Bottom half of that lineup doing a much better job of adjusting to the heat from Lepore.
You gotta love that. The TCU pitcher, Zach Root, threw over to first like a dozen times in the last inning. It happens once, and the Arkansas fans immediately boo. But hey, they're staying true to their identity. So passionate as Davalon swings and misses on top of the changeup. Yeah, first time through the order, heavy dose of fastballs. We've started to see Lepore mix in a little bit more of the off speed, which is the thing he's worked on the most in his time transitioning from Wichita State now to TCU. This one is fly deep to right center. Bowen back, but Brunson, excuse me, has enough room and he makes the catch. Tagging from first to second is Thomas. Uses that speed to his advantage and a nice read to go back to first and tag up.
Yeah, that was a great read by Thomas, and saw that ball going deep, but was going to be caught. Brunson does chase it down, but smart play by Justin Thomas. It's a play like that, the little things in a close game, they're going to make a difference. Puts himself into scoring position for Wahiva Aloy.
Aloy grounded out to third his first time up. Takes a called strike. A couple guys going at each other who were all conference players at their former schools. Aloy, the freshman of the year in the WAC a couple years ago, while Lepore was the second team all conference and newcomer pitcher of the year in the American last year. And that fastball slider combo has been really good. Gets Aloy out in front 0-2.
Yeah, I don't think Aloy sees on the fastball in this sequence. That's the pitch to get him out with. Completely fooled him.
High pop up in foul territory. Looks to be in play. That's Carson Bowen, and he makes the catch. Tommy Lepore continuing to deal, and we'll talk with his head coach Kirk Saarloos when we return. 0-0 going to the bottom of inning number 3.
Resilience. At Shriners Children's, we're leaders in pediatric sports medicine. With expertise in sprains, tears, fractures, and other sports-related injuries. We're here to deliver the best care in the business and never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs. Because every great comeback starts with a game plan for empowering the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
Naylor Industries and their dedicated Amegy business banker work together to put the us in business banking, focusing on their business needs with lightning speed. Now it's your turn with your own dedicated Amegy business banker with banking experience in your industry. Because you're more than a customer, we're more than a bank, and together we'll help put your business on solid financial footing with comprehensive financing options, earned interest on your accounts, and yes, a banking partner who is just as invested in your growth as you are. Here we collaborate. Here you grow.
Nothing to the bottom of the third. TCU coming to the plate at Globe Life Field. Their head coach, Kirk Saarloos, joining us right now. In-game interviews brought to you by Amegy Bank. Well, Coach, we watched Peyton Tolley come in last year from Wichita State. Dude was awesome. Now you have Tommy Lepore, another Wichita State transfer. Have you sent like a fruit basket or something over that way? I mean, geez, these guys are great for you.
Yeah, Peyton Tolley was phenomenal last year, and I think that's part of the reason we got Tommy Lepore was because, he watched what Peyton did here. And when he got in the portal, we jumped on him really fast, like many in the country did, and just did a good job of getting him here. And he's actually wearing the same number as Peyton. So I think, hopefully it rings true for the rest of the year. He can pitch like Peyton.
Yeah, he's thrown a lot like him. Hey, Kirk, Pat Combs here.
Hey, Pat.
Yeah, great to hear you. Great to see you. You lose probably one of the top closers in college baseball, Ben Abelt, but man, it's so impressive how this TCU team has responded.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. We're loading up the bus on Thursday to go to San Diego when we get the news that it is official. He's going to have Tommy John, which he just had on Wednesday. And he's a huge part of our program and our pitching staff, not just on the field but off the field. And so the big thing that I saw was, we have a bunch of guys that are ready for the challenge and are looking forward to the opportunity, and it just kind of slides everybody up one. He was going to be the Friday night guy, and now Caden Parker slides up to Friday, and Tommy slides up to Saturday, and it gives other guys great opportunities, but we're sure going to miss them.
We're showing a shot of the bullpen right now. He is your new director of bullpen operations. It looks like he's like a drill sergeant down there right now.
It's actually, if you go on our roster, it no longer says left-handed pitcher. It says director of baseball, or director of bullpen operations.
There you go.
So
love it.
He's going to go on all road trips. He's just a huge part, and I think 2 years worth of being an All-American down there, he knows what he's doing.
Kirk, how about the power output from this offensive lineup? It's pretty incredible to see what's going on here.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. We played in San Diego, which, at nighttime and on the West Coast, it doesn't travel as much, and then during the day it travels quite a bit. So they did a really good job of staying on baseballs, and hit quite a few home runs. Hit 2 last night. So when you're facing elite, starting pitching and left-handed starting pitching, it's probably not going to be as readily available. You're going to have to do a lot of other things, and you saw us go first pitch on the stolen base when Kadena got on, and you saw them then do that to us. So you're kind of locked in a really good college baseball game with 2 elite starting pitchers.
I was going to say, it feels like your type of game tonight, isn't it?
As a pitcher?
As a former pitcher.
Well, I like the home runs only as long as they're for our guys.
That's right. That makes sense. That's fair. Kirk Saarloos joining us here at Globe Life Field. Coach, as always, appreciate the time. We'll let you get back to it.
You better. Go Frogs.
After a backwards K to Sawyer Stroh-Snyder leading off the third, it's Preston Gamster. Shows bunts and fouls it off. Now, I guess the whole pitcher's mentality, watching the duel, when you're a coach, it only goes so far. You also want your guys to scratch some runs across. So I get that.
Yeah, absolutely.
He has to appreciate this, though.
He does appreciate it. But look, he's an old pitcher, too. He likes to see these pitcher duel. But, yeah, his job now as a head coach is to win. That's a 5-0 start. He's trying to beat one of the better teams in the country, and that's exactly what Saarloos is focused on at the moment.
Change up in the dirt, 2-2. He was part of a 6-pitcher combined no-hitter in the big leagues back on June 11th, 2003 with the Houston Astros against the New York Yankees.
Yep.
He's part of baseball history.
I remember seeing part of that game. That was impressive.
Hard to believe it's been over 20 years since then.
Ben, I think that every time I get up in the morning. Has it really been that long since I played?
Has it been that long? A little flare to the right side. That's Kendall Diggs who makes the catch.
Yeah,
Kirk
it seems like yesterday.
Yeah, it does. Well, he was part of that original core of Cal State Fullerton Titans back in the late 90s, early 2000s, establishing that program as one of the great mid-major programs of the West Coast. Parlayed that into a 7-year MLB career, and since he's been at TCU, 8 years as pitching coach, now 4 years as a head coach, it's been one of the most consistent pitching staffs in the country, and I guess that all makes sense given his pedigree as a pitcher.
Yeah. Well, stepped into the shoes of Jim Schlossnagle. Of course, big shoes to fill, but what has Kirk Saarloos done? He's been the fastest coach in TCU history to reach the 100-win mark. Any of 19 of the previous head coaches at TCU. So he's a tremendous individual, loves coaching, obviously coaching players to get better, but more than that, coaching men.
0-2 to Isaac Cadena. See his staff down there with Bill Mosiello, who's out at third base right now. There's a check swing, but no offer from Cadena. Mosiello back in his second stint. John DeLaura, fourth year as recruiting coordinator. Dave Long, second-year pitching coach.
Yeah, slider just didn't quite make it back to the plate. Started that front door slider, just stayed a bit inside.
Got him this time. Right back to the off speed as Cadena swings and misses on a slider.
Yeah,
Zach Root on one. Yep.
Oh, golly. Just a tough pitch to hit, especially lefty on lefty. And Root's got it working tonight. Nasty stuff.
Protecting what matters most is the mission that matters most. At Lockheed Martin, we know today's threats come from behind, above, and below, and we make sure those who serve stay ahead of them by connecting platforms necessary to dominate every domain across air, land, sea, space, and cyber, using technologies that protect in the same moment they detect. The mission is a safer, more secure world. Our promise is to help make it happen.
Sometimes you just need a little wonderful in your life. So why not go to a place made for it? Arlington, Texas. It's a city made for fun and excitement and all the things you love to do. And even some things you didn't know you loved until you came here and found them. Come see for yourself why Arlington is a world of wonderful.
Everything you thought you knew is brand new. We on a new wave. This ain't what it was. See, when the game changes, so do we. Every day, every play. Always been greater than 12. Now standing 16 strong. In every end zone, any time zone. When everyone else keeps asking, what's next? We know we are.
Back at Globe Life Field, where they'll crown a Big 12 tournament champion here in May. In the meantime, the Amegy Bank College Baseball Series presented by Kubota is bringing the heat to Globe Life Field next weekend, the 28th of February through March 2nd. 4 elite programs, Oregon State, Auburn, Baylor, and Ohio State are set to battle it out in an epic early season clash. Can't make it to the ballpark? Catch every pitch, every play, and every clutch moment live on Flow College. 0-0 between Arkansas and TCU going to the 4th. The pop foul off the bat of Logan Maxwell. Baylor baseball, Pat. I gave you a score update earlier. The Baylor alum, Pat Combs, sitting next to me in the booth. Final score, Baylor 5, Gonzaga 2.
They got him again.
At the house that Pat Combs built, Baylor Ballpark. 6-0, your Baylor Bears. How about that?
Great start for Mitch Thompson. You know, great connection to the Arkansas Razorbacks. His brother, Nate Thompson, an assistant coach for Dave Van Horn. And at one time, the Thompson boys were undefeated. That was until last night.
Crack to the right side. Nice leaping snag by Cadena for the first out.
That ball was scorched off the bat of Logan Maxwell, and Cadena timed his jump perfectly. Otherwise, that's a double in the corner. Yeah, well done by the Horned Frog first baseman.
Well, if you were a betting man, you would not have thought between the two Thompsons that Mitch of Baylor would be the last undefeated. But
there you go.
Here we are. That's baseball for you.
Well, the Bears have one of those older lineups, and we know in college baseball, older usually wins.
First pitch, fly ball off the bat of Brent Iredale. Into deep right, but not deep enough. Stroh-Snyder right there. And this is how the teams were projected to go in the Big 12 preseason poll. And based on early struggles for both Oklahoma State and Arizona, who are both 500 in the early going, you feel like TCU, if people had to do it all over again, I get it, it's a small sample size, but you probably slot them in the top spot based on the early results.
Yeah, no doubt. And then, you know, you had to think coming into the season, as we talked about in the pregame, you know, this team's playing with a chip on their shoulder. This Horned Frog Nation, they are not used to making the postseason. And so when they felt like they got snubbed last year, you just knew part of the culture of this team was we were never going to let that happen again.
Good look at Cole Kramer out at second base. The 1-0. Line to left field, but right at Sam Myers, makes a couple of moves back and makes the catch. Lightning fast inning for Tommy Lepore. Continues to deal as we await our first run of the game.
At Shriners Children's, we're home to the world's leading pediatric orthopedic care. Because so many life-changing advancements start here. We provide access to the best doctors and never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs. We're the first place to turn for the most common or complex orthopedic conditions. Home to possibility and empowering kids to achieve the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
Record-breaking global superstar Shakira, live in Arlington. Las Mujeres Ya No Lloran World Tour, Globe Life Field, June 11th. The phenomenal new album Las Mujeres Ya No Lloran is available everywhere now. Get tickets now at Shakira.com.
Yeah, winning a policy. Thank God for $1, it's a prophecy. Love the pressure, I am a prodigy. Everybody inside of the stadium tell me they proud of me. Shining public, training privately. Homer, straight to the balcony. Building muscle, I never can bother me. Texas Rangers together, we by the team. Go man, this is the dog in me. Still a game on the road, it's a robbery. Stand on base, going strong, no apology. Corey Seager might give it to Raw. Like I see it, the strength in my arm.
Still 0-0 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Zach Root has been awesome. The new Arkansas pitcher coming in this year from East Carolina. He steps into a proud program. This has been as good as anybody, Pat, in the college game. The only thing they're missing is a title. These fans are so hungry for it. They've been close a lot. Have yet to get over that hump, but they figure this is yet another great opportunity for their team to make a push to Omaha.
Yeah, every year it is. I mean, as long as Dave Van Horn remains the head coach at Arkansas, you can just expect they're going to be in the postseason battling to get back into the World Series and to finally win one. But you're right, man, that's the only thing missing is that College World Series trophy. But boy, there's nobody better deserving in college baseball than Dave Van Horn with all the years he's put in. And a .660 winning percentage as head coach at Arkansas. Just a matter of time for him.
Chase Brunson lines one foul, and the count is 1-1. You asked him this week, though, about the legacy he feels like he has and that he wants to leave when he's done. And he took a very macro level approach, saying, look, it's been such a great run in general. This pitch is swung on and missed on the slider. He said, even if we don't ever win the whole thing, I will be happy with what we've built here. And you can't take away all the accomplishments. I don't want to sit there and say I'm only going to be happy if we win a World Series.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that's the right perspective for any head coach, right? I mean, I remember talking years ago with Augie Garrido, and I said, Augie, what are you most proud of? And he gave the same answer that Dave Van Horn said. He said, you know, it's the relationships. It's the men I've been able to coach, and I've seen them go on to do great things in business and sports and wherever, you know, they've been taken in life, and to see them build families and be great contributors to the community. And I just thought back, that's the goal of a head coach, right? The winning should be the icing on the cake.
It's a 2-2 count on Chase Brunson. Dave Van Horn played at Arkansas. Got his start at the JUCO level, which he said really taught him a lot and felt like it differentiated himself from his peers going that route. He told us he had to buy his own lawnmower back then.
That's right.
Like it was the old sketchy days of JUCO baseball in Texas.
Dragged his field with his pickup truck.
Had to figure it out.
That's right. Humble beginnings. And, you know, I get it. If you're a fan of the game and you're a fan of, you know, the Arkansas team or TCU, I get it, man. You want your guys to win. But I'll tell you where I really hate where this game has gone at times is when you open up social media. You know, you lose a game as Arkansas got knocked out of the regional last year, and you just see the hate-filled stuff going towards these coaches, and you go, man, you are really missing the mark as a fan if that's what you have built your life upon.
So it comes with great expectations, and Arkansas, they certainly have those, as it's a walk to lead off this bottom of the fourth. Chase Brunson reaches. First leadoff runner for either team tonight as Noah Franco comes up. You can tell both sets of fans tonight, they're looking for something to start to get excited about, get some chirping back and forth.
Yeah, great crowd tonight. A lot of energy in the building.
Shot to the left side. That's through for Noah Franco. And the first two are aboard for TCU.
Boy, much better approach for Noah Franco that time. You saw him keep that front side in. Didn't overswing. Just made good contact on that delivery from Zach Root. It's exactly what you have to do. Shorten those swings up tonight. Just look for a pitch out over the plate. That time caught the cutter going down and away and just stayed on it. Nice approach.
He struck out swinging his first time, and you loved the reaction. He didn't pout. He just nodded his head as if to say, "Up, I got fooled. I missed it."
Yep.
Tip of the cap, and he came back next time, stayed on the off speed, sends it for a base hit.
So what next at bat?
Now it's Cole Kramer off a huge weekend to start his TCU career. Launches a curveball down in the dirt.
Well, first time either starting pitcher's really been in trouble. Couple of runners, no outs here for Root.
5 strikeouts in the first 3 innings, but the Horned Frogs have made adjustments second time through the order. Change up in there for a strike.
Yeah, pull the string. Nice job to even the count.
Root made his Arkansas debut last weekend against Cole Kramer's former team, the Cougs of Wazoo. Arkansas really overmatched Washington State. Swing and a miss. Relying on the off speed this AB as he gets him with a slider.
Yeah, it's just a nasty slider. And well, Cole Kramer, pretty good situational hitter and bat to ball guy, and tough to strike out.
Jam shot foul. And we talked to Kirk Sarlos earlier. It's his wife's aunt and uncle. That's the connection. They're good friends with the Kramer family. And they knew Cole when he was coming out of high school in Arlington, Washington. He wanted to stay closer to home, though. Went to Wazoo. They actually played the Cougs last year and ultimately got Kramer in the portal. Wave and a miss. Back to the slider for Root, his 6th punch out.
Yeah, just a great pitch. This time Root goes more with the backdoor variety. Starts on the outside corner. It'll break down towards the middle of the plate. And I just saw Kramer kind of pull off that pitch. Just a nasty delivery from Root. Big first out for him and the Hogs.
Especially with this man coming up, Carson Bowen. As you see Root look in at him. And freshman All-American a couple years ago, solid sophomore year, back as a junior. And he takes a first pitch slider on the outer half. They're just happy Carson Bowen is healthy. It was a scare back in the fall. He had a blood clot where his right arm just got super swollen all of a sudden. He had to miss the entire fall. Out in front of that curveball, 0-2.
Yeah, that's a scary situation for a ball player. And you know, we've seen blood clot issues in the past that have ruined careers. And so great to get Carson Bowen back in there. Glad they were able to solve that medical issue.
Down in the count, 0-2. Oh, got him. 93 with the heat, right on the shoulder. Not what Zach Root wanted to do to load the bases.
Yeah, you saw Root was trying to go inside with the fastball. Helfrich set up inside and just kind of pulled it across his body. Yeah, nowhere for Bowen to go on that. Hits him right above that elbow pad. That's going to leave a mark.
He's a big guy. And he still wins.
You saw the grimace, yeah.
Well, that brings out the pitching coach, Matt Hobbs, for the first time tonight, who was named the NCAA's Assistant Coach of the Year. Last year, Arkansas has had the most pitchers drafted in the country since 2019. And the first time his guy on the mound, Zach Root, has had any sorts of issues. Now has the bases loaded with one out and a real tough out at the plate in Sam Myers.
Yeah, Matt Hobbs just does an incredible job with the pitching staff. You know, you hear some fans say, well, yeah, it's easy. He gets all these great arms, and these guys come in throwing 95. But let me tell you, you've got to develop those arms. It's one thing to throw hard. It's another thing for a pitcher to learn command and learn how to repeat his mechanics and do all the things that's going to sustain him at that next level. Matt Hobbs just does a tremendous job with these pitchers. Well-deserved award.
Matt Hobbs is a pitcher at Mizzou back in the early 2000s. Right around the same time that Max Scherzer was there. And the great pitching coach himself, Tim Jamieson, that's who Matt Hobbs came up under, and now here he is plying his trade for one of the best staffs in the country. As the first pitch is in there, called strike with the slider. Do you like the strategy? Worked a little backwards here on Cole Kramer?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, that really is the way to attack him.
And Sam Myers, excuse me, at the plate, struck out Kramer the couple batters prior. There's a chopper to the right side. Will it be tough to turn it? They might not get anything on the tough hop. Cannot be handled by Gabe Frazier, and it's TCU who strike first.
Yeah, not an easy chopper to Frazier. It looked like he was trying to be aggressive and go for the double play, but that high chopper, let's just get a handle of it and try to get one out here, because that's going to be just a difficult ball to try to turn two on anyway. Yeah, just kind of an in-between hop, and it caught him. Then he kicked it around a few times and finally gets the handle of it, but Horned Frogs with the early lead.
That pitch in there for a strike to Anthony Silva. E4 on Gabe Frazier, just the third error Arkansas has committed in their 6th game of the season. You weren't expecting a double play there, but you had to at least get one. Curveball outside, 1-1. It's always so easy to say in retrospect with a fast runner like Myers, but one of those learning situations for Gabe Frazier, who's just a freshman. Impressive in the first place that a guy as young as he is trusted in the starting lineup for Dave Van Horn. As it's 1-1. Fly down the line and right. Diggs watches it just go into the netting over there.
Yeah, now the pitch count started to creep up on Zach Root. 68 pitches now into the ball game. I'd like to see if he can get to the 6th inning for you, but TCU having a lot to say about it at the moment.
Root was capped at 75 pitches in his debut when he went 5 innings. Bounces that slider, 2-2. The difference was his team was up big. They cruised to a 14-2 win over Wazoo.
Well, Root's thinking strikeout or trying to get that ground ball. Let his infield work for him. A couple of dummy shakes. Let's see if he goes back to the fastball.
Called strike 3. Froze him with the curveball.
Yeah, sure did. Backdoor breaking ball. And yeah, that was a pitch that he showed Silva in his first at bat. Comes right back to him to finish him off. And he just completely gave up on it.
7 punch-outs in 3 2/3 for Zach Root. And Anthony Silva knew what our pitch track did. That was a strike the whole way. Line shot foul from Sawyer Stroh-Snyder. True freshman coming in, an in-state guy from Brock, Texas. Drove in a couple last night for TCU.
Yeah, good swing from Stroh-Snyder. Stayed right on that pitch.
Catches a piece with the fastball 0-2.
Yeah, Tommy Helfrich set up inside. He wanted that fastball in. Instead, Root gets the strike away. See if he comes back up and in with that fastball.
It'd feel like a win for Arkansas to get out of this with only 1 allowed. Swing and a miss. It's the slider for Zach Root. His 8th punch out in 4 innings. But TCU does scratch across the first run of the game. They lead it 1-0 as we head to the 5th.
I don't feel right unless the odds against me. Back against the wall of my strength. Yeah, I can't let it break. Everything I've been through, it made me better. I never hate, it just made me better. Been through everything, it just made me better. I can't waste the pain, it just made me better. Once you make mistakes, it just made me better.
To left field. Goodbye, home run.
There's an old saying, everything's bigger in Texas. Well, let's just say, IndyCar is about to go to a whole nother level. Get ready, Arlington. This is where history is made, and champions are born.
We're back inside Globe Life Field in Arlington. Look who decided to join us. Craig Gentry coming up into the booth, former Arkansas Razorback, outstanding player for the Hogs. And man, what a night this is so far tonight. What a great game too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's fun to get out here. I know both these teams are solid this year, so getting to come see my alma mater is always a fun time.
No doubt. Throwing out the first pitch too tonight.
Yeah.
You and Carp, the great former TCU player.
Yeah.
You guys razz each other at all? Out there first pitch?
No, actually, that was the first time I'd ever met him. I played against him many years in the big leagues, but no, he's a good guy, and we're both just say, hey, let's just make a good pitch here.
Let's keep it
make
all,
a good
all
pitch.
square.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Craig, we haven't heard any hog calls yet. What's going on with this offense?
You know what? I didn't think about that, but now you say it, I hadn't heard many either. So I don't know. Maybe we need to get something going to spark us.
Well, it's been the best atmosphere so far the weekend here, Craig, and you're used to this. It's always a treat for us to come here, get a packed house. Whole lower bowl is filled tonight here for the Arkansas fans. Some people who in college baseball, it's grown so rapidly the last decade or so, might think, oh wow, this might be a new thing, but you can attest that it's definitely not, as far as the Arkansas passion that the fans have.
Oh man, they've been showing up to games ever since I can remember, so this is no surprise. But yeah, this is a good turnout out here. I'm pleasantly surprised. It's very good.
Flip to first base from Cadena to Laporte. Kendall Diggs, the first out of the inning.
Greg, as you think back to your career at Arkansas, what was a highlight for you?
Well, you know, I mean, we both my years there, we were highly ranked teams. You know, I think once we got in the postseason, we didn't get to do what we expected to do, but you know, just getting to play. You know, I grew up in Arkansas, born and raised, so my dream was to be a Razorback. So being on the team was an unbelievable thing. I think one moment that stands out was a walk-off home run against Tennessee on like a Sunday game that went long in extra innings, and I can still remember that. I'd never done that before in my life and never did it since. So that was a huge moment for me, and just a great time.
Picked a good time to do it, I would say.
That's right.
In that case, I mean, seriously. Yeah. Well, we went to one of the Arkansas at schools, right? One of the smaller schools to start. Then you went to Fayetteville, so I'm sure that had to be so special starting out, going to a smaller school, kind of proving yourself, and then Coach Van Horn gives you the call, and you're in.
Yeah, I mean, it was, you know, I went to a small school in high school, then ended up going to a junior college, University of Arkansas at Fort Smith, where I grew up. Played there for 2 years, got some experience, and thankfully got a chance to go up there and play for them, because I wasn't sure if that was ever going to happen, but once that opportunity opened, I took it.
Now, Craig, give us some inside baseball. You know, we get to talk to Coach Van Horn, and always great conversation with him, but what's it like playing for him?
Well, you know, I mean, he'll get after you. He expects a lot, and he has no shame to let you know how he feels, and he expects the best. And if you're not doing it, he'll let you know about it. So, I mean, you better show up every day ready to work hard and ready to play hard. And I mean, I think he's proven year over year that he gets the best out of his players.
Yeah, don't you love that, though? You love to know where you stand with a coach, right? Instead of having to guess. I mean, he's going to let you know right away. And I bet you the challenge that he gives you is he's going to make you a better ball player.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely going to be a better ball player. You know, he, like you said, he if he's not talking to you, then you better be worried about something.
That's right.
So, he's hard on the people that he knows that, you know, can show up and do really well. So he develops players and go to that program, and I mean, you can do nothing but get better.
Ryder Helfrich strikes out for the second out. Toward the bottom of the order here, top of the fifth, hanging out with Craig Gentry, former Razorback. Well, this has to be special for you. I know this isn't the park that you played in, but you played across the street for the Rangers. Right. You were on some pretty good teams, made it to the World Series 2011. So here you are back in Arlington, and you're watching your alma mater. It's all kind of coming together.
Oh, yeah, this is great. I mean, anytime I get to come down here, I know it's not the stadium I got to play in, but just, you know, still the same atmosphere, and, you know, just being a part of it, and obviously getting to see Arkansas play is always a good thing, because I don't get to make it back up to Fayetteville a whole lot.
Yeah. Yeah, Craig, what about the new digs here? This is pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very nice. And I'll tell you what, it's very nice to come to a game and not sweat.
Yeah.
So, but
you had a lot of those days, didn't you?
Oh, man, yeah, it gets hot in the summer with no roof over your head, so.
Was there one I'm sure it all kind of blends together. Was there one of those days in particular that just sticks out, like an extra inning game, or one of those like Sunday summer where you're just like, I mean, I love baseball, but like, come on, man.
I mean, I think you said it. Any Sunday getaway day is always a day game.
Yeah.
And you know, to be honest with you, if you're not playing in that game, there's not a whole lot of guys sitting in the dugout. They're always up in the rooms,
that's right.
watching on the video screens and staying in the AC. But yeah, I mean, if you dragged out a Sunday day game, it got pretty miserable.
There were 2 outs in the 5th inning. You know, it's almost, 15 years removed from that World Series, which is hard to believe. I wonder, as time goes on, that World Series now is known as one of the historic ones.
Yep.
And it's one of those, you're on the losing end of it. But how do you look at that now that we're more than 10 years removed from it?
Well, you know, to be honest, it still hurts.
Yeah.
No, it was such a great game and such an awesome thing to be a part of. Just playing in a World Series in itself, you know. So I still think back to that, and I'm so grateful to be able to have done that. You know, that's a dream as any kid that grows up playing baseball. But yeah, that series was unbelievable. Still don't think I've watched all of Game 6. So
I don't blame you.
It's hard to watch, man.
Yeah.
A kick in the gut. You were that close, you know.
2 times, actually.
Oh,
9th
man.
and the 10th inning.
That's right. That's right.
I feel like everybody has a story from that from that game as well. And it's just one of those, they'll always live in baseball lore. It's just a shame when you're on the losing side of it. It just stings that much more,
It does sting, but that was a good team, and got to play with some of those guys that are on the other side later on, and it's better team won that series, and it is what it is. But getting to experience it was unbelievable.
Your Gabe Frazier grounds out. Sure, hopefully you get some, a little belated revenge on Matt Carpenter here today. But, Craig Gentry joining us. Thanks as always, man.
Thank
really
you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
We'll go to the bottom of the 5th next. TCU coming up, leading by 1.
The legend of the Lone Star. The power of thousands. AEW's biggest event ever in the United States. This is All In. AEW All In Texas. Live Saturday, July 12th, 2025 from Globe Life Field in Arlington. All Elite Wrestling's biggest event of the year. Tickets and exclusive VIP packages are on sale now. Go to AEWTIX.com now for more information.
Record-breaking global superstar Shakira, live in Arlington. Las Mujeres Ya No Lloran World Tour, Globe Life Field, June 11th. The phenomenal new album Las Mujeres Ya No Lloran is available everywhere now. Get tickets now at Shakira.com.
One nothing TCU to the bottom of the 5th. Even though he's trailing in this game, Pat, Zach Root has been awesome all night.
Well, he sure has been. It's just the one walk, the leadoff walk in the 4th inning that got him. But man, has he been dominant. Everything is advertised with a 4-pitch mix. And a mid-90s fastball. 8 strikeouts on the evening so far for Root.
And like he's done most of the night, gets a swing and a miss on a curveball at the top of the order. Preston Gamster. Only 8 Ks. He matches his debut last Friday against Wazoo with the 8 punch-outs. Ahead in the count 0-2. And only gave up the 1 run, which scored on an E4 last inning.
Yeah, the swing and miss on that breaking ball is about 84% of the time. I mean, that's just a crazy number to think about.
Wave and a miss sets him up with the off speed, and that 94-mile-an-hour heater, that probably feels like triple digits to these guys.
Man, it does. I mean, that's what happens when you have your off-speed stuff working. You're throwing it for strikes. It just speeds the fastball up, and as much as hitters tell themselves to be on time with the fastball, in the back of your mind, you're thinking, man, he's got that nasty hook. If you're thinking it all like that, he'll just blow the fastball right by you.
Swing and a miss with a curveball. It's a very unique delivery. I see a little Clayton Richard in it. Sort of that herky jerk, hide the ball. Lefty uses really good angles to make that much more deceptive. And Clayton Richard had a solid MLB career. There's a slider. Swung on and missed 0-2. And so many teams can use a lefty like that, who is deceptive, also has some heat, and also some really good secondary stuff.
Well, it's just the command. You think about the elite pitchers at the major league level and what separates them. Well, it's all command.
The 0-2. No chance. Watches that fastball right down the middle.
Yeah, 10th strikeout for Root. About 4 in a row. Yeah, Isaac Cadena just totally fooled. I think he was looking breaking ball, and that fastball just locked him up.
Chase Brunson, the next to attempt He does get some aluminum to it, but Kendall Diggs has a beat and makes the catch. Zach Root averaging 2 punch-outs an inning, 10 through 5. His team trails by 1 as we go to the 6th.
Golden Chick's new Golden Bowl is so big, it's a whole lot of yes and a whole lot of yum. So if you like big bowls, then we cannot lie. The new loaded mashed potato bowl is a whole lot of Golden Chick, a big bowl you can't deny.
Woodcraft and their dedicated Amegy business banker work together to put the us in business banking, creating a long-lasting relationship with open and quick communication. Now it's your turn with your own dedicated Amegy business banker with banking experience in your industry, because you're more than a customer. We're more than a bank, and together we'll work to help put your business on solid financial footing with comprehensive financing options, earned interest on your accounts, and yes, the support you need to reach your business goals faster. Here we collaborate. Here you grow.
There's a new number 49 in Fort Worth, just like last year's star Peyton Tolley. It's Tommy Lepore, a Wichita State transfer, and he has been super impressive. First time playing in Texas.
Yeah, the stuff is playing really well tonight. And just look at the mix of the pitches. He is fired up for these Horned Frogs and nursing a 1-run lead right now. We talked about it being a major league arm, and it is. He's showing out. Fastball that sits mid-90s and great breaking stuff behind it. How about a strike to ball ratio, 60-40. 69 total pitches, 45 strikes. Exactly where you want your starting pitcher to be.
11 innings pitched now for Lepore to start his TCU career. 10 strikeouts, 8 hits allowed, 0 runs, and just a single walk. Not half bad as he gets ahead to Justin Thomas Jr., bottom of the Arkansas order, starting off the 6th.
Has retired the last 8 hogs in a row, and just seen him mix pitches really well. He's going in and out with his fastball. He'll change eye level at times. It's just a great mix of pitches. The slider and changeup, he has spotted those well for strikes.
High fly ball from Justin Thomas. That fastball getting in on his hands as it's Sam Myers who makes the catch for the first out.
Yeah, more changeups to the lefties, which has some great arm side movement. We've seen a couple of strikeouts register with that changeup. More breaking balls to the right-handers. The fastball command has been spot on.
It's not easy when you come in, though, as a big-time transfer target, and it's a program like TCU with so much history, all the College World Series trips, and there's so much expected out of you. That one just misses low. Look at the guy he's replacing in that number 49 jersey. Even Peyton Tolley, who ended up being the Big 12 Pitcher of the Year and the Big 12 Newcomer of the Year, who also transferred in from Wichita State. It wasn't super smooth right at the start a season ago. That pitch is inside 2-0. We watched him in this exact venue this series last year against USC, and he really struggled. Walked 4 guys in 4 1/3. He needed his team to come back, actually walk off USC to take that game. This one cracked to the right side, handled by Colt Kramer. Easy 4-3 putout. But I remember watching Tolley and thinking, man, there is a lot of weight on this kid's shoulders. He eventually figured it out, but that's what makes it so impressive from Lepore.
Well, I mean, it's just an old saying in baseball, you know, any starting pitcher, any 5 starts, you're going to have 2 where you're on. You've got all your good stuff. You've got your command. Everything's working. You've got 2 where you're kind of just mediocre. You know, things, it doesn't just feel exactly right that night. Maybe one of your pitches is not on, so you just kind of battle through it. And then you got a 1 start that's, you just got to, you got to grit through. You know, you got to have your good stuff, and that was what we saw last year. Peyton Tolley didn't have his good stuff that night, but he fought through it, got his team to the 4th inning. And then after that, that might have been the shortest start of his entire season last year.
Dahiva Oloy, after a first pitch ball, sees a changeup catch the outer half. Oloy to center field, but didn't catch it. Chase Brunson goes back, then comes in. And the roll continues for Tommy Lepore. 11 consecutive batters retired as this Horned Frogs lead at 1-0. Time for the 6th inning. TCU leads 1-0. And a reminder that your college sports have a home on Flow College. Watch more than 12,000 college sporting events from 100 schools and 12 different conferences only on Flow College. Head to flowcollege.com today to see everything now. Sometimes at a baseball game you have to entertain yourself. Those kids got the hang of it.
They sure did.
I mean, we're entertained because we love good pitching, especially you, Pat, as a former big league pitcher. But the most impressive thing about what Tommy Lepore and TCU have done today is they've kept all those Arkansas fans from making a lot of noise. No hog calls at all today.
It has been quiet. Other than the energy you feel, just kind of general sense of a big crowd. But hogs have not been called as of yet.
The day for Zach Root is done. He was outstanding. 5 innings, 2 hits, a single run given up. It was earned because even though the run scored on an error, it would have needed a double play, which you can't assume to end the inning. So his night is over. 2 walks, 10 Ks, and into his place comes a highly touted prospect, a transfer from Ohio State, Landon Beidelshees, who enters the fray. Projected to be a weekend starter, but for now he'll work out of the bullpen for Dave Van Horn.
Yeah, I thought we might see him start tomorrow, but you know, piggybacking this start from Zach Root, especially just in a 1-run ball game, you can see why Dave Van Horn wanted to insert him here. A lot of the same kind of stuff we just saw from Zach Root. The heavy fastball, 94 to 97. There's a good slider that comes in upper 80s. Then he has kind of that sweeping breaking ball to go with it.
2-0 fastballs in there for a called strike. I wonder if that has anything to do with the fact that Beidelshees pitched against Michigan last year when he was at Ohio State. This pitch misses outside 3-1. And Arkansas faces Michigan tomorrow, so you would be giving them a pitcher who they at least have some familiarity with.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
Arkansas and Michigan in the early game tomorrow. As the 3-1 is swung on and missed. Healthy hack from the freshman Noah Franco.
Yeah, oftentimes when you piggyback a start like this, you like to see something different. Maybe a right-hander that has some good breaking stuff behind Zach Root, the lefty, but Beidelshees and Root have very similar stuff. Now, question always is, you know, how does he command it?
Based on last year, he commanded it really well. 31 walks to 91 punch-outs.
There you go. That tells a story.
Lefty, lefty. 3-2, poked back up the middle. A charge by Frazier makes a nice play for the first out of the 6th.
Yeah, really athletic second baseman for Arkansas. You saw that costly error back in the 4th, but this time does a nice job of coming across the infield and throwing across his body. Right on target. Well done.
And feeds a first pitch slider for a strike to Cole Kramer. In a lot of ways, Landon Beidelshees was your prototypical guy to start out as a freshman in the bullpen and then explode as a sophomore. That one's nubbed foul. But at Ohio State, he actually emerged as a closer as a freshman, and they knew he could be stretched out. He had 7 saves as a freshman in Columbus. 5 of those were multi-inning saves. Then last year as a sophomore was the Friday night starter.
Well,
it's jam foul.
His former head coach in the other dugout, Bill Mosiello. I'm sure Coach Mo has the book on him, but doesn't matter. Hitters still have to execute.
Chop to the left side. There's Aloy with the throw for out number 2. You don't think Bill Mosiello wanted Beidelshees to follow him down to Fort Worth with an awesome head coach as a former pitcher in Kirk Sarlos?
I'm sure he did. I know when Beidelshees hit the portal, there were a number of teams after him. He had options.
He chose an Arkansas staff that on paper has the most talent of anybody now in the country. That first pitch just misses to Carson Bowen.
Yeah, Bowen got drilled in that shoulder area last at bat. I'm sure that 93-mile-an-hour fastball left a few seam marks.
Carson Bowen into left field. Davalon back, watches against the wall, and it is caught! Oh, what a play by Davalon! Absolute robbery.
Wow. Tip your cap if you're a pitcher to Charles Davalon. He just saved your run. That ball was smoked by Bowen, and he wasn't sure if it was going to get out, but I think at least double. How about Davalon getting to the wall, makes the perfect catch up against it. Great timing. His glove to the top of it. Definitely would have been out of here. Great job to keep the lead at 1.
One 1-0 lead for TCU to the 7th. This was how they scored their only run.
Yeah, just a miscue at second base. Now, look, to Gabe Frazier's credit, he was trying to come in to possibly make a double play, and that ball was a kind of an in-betweener hop. Skipped up onto his chest, but it was after the leadoff walk given up by Zach Root, really his only mistake of the night. Then there was a single by Franco, and then the TCU Horned Frogs manufactured that run on the error. And that's where we are, 1-0, Frogs.
That was bases loaded, 1 out, so a run would have scored anyway.
That's right.
It just ended up being an error. As we start the inning, Logan Maxwell, the former Horned Frog, taking a Change-up outside from Tommy Laporte. But that tells you how limited the offense has been. And during the last half-inning break, we got our first hog call of the night, and it came on a defensive play from the Razorbacks. Ball inside here.
Yeah, well-deserved for Charles Davalon. And you said it, Ben, just absolute robbery of Carson Bowen. Pulls that ball back into the field of play and makes the catch to preserve the 1-0 deficit.
Fastball high to Logan Maxwell. Will we see that play, which finally gave some energy to the Arkansas team and fans, bleed over now into this top of the 7th?
Well, Laporte's going to have to get back into this count with Logan Maxwell.
And he misses, not close. 4-pitch walk. The first walk Tommy Laporte has issued not only tonight, but just the second walk now in 11 innings of work across his 2 starts. That puts him over the 80-pitch mark. First time he's done that in his 2 starts, and I'm sure Kirk Saarloos is watching him very closely as he works deeper in this game.
Yeah, 82 pitches, 51 strikes for Laporte, and no movement out of that dugout. Kirk Saarloos is going to stick with him for the moment. There is a couple of arms now up and throwing for TCU.
TCU used one of its top bullpen guys last night in Braden Sloan, who got the save, a 9-out save for Sloan, but they did not have to use a guy now viewed to be the de facto closer, Luis Rodriguez, who fills the spot vacated by Ben Abel, who's on the shelf with Tommy John surgery. Brent Iredale digging in. Plays off the slider. 5 straight balls to begin the inning.
Well, all it takes is one swing of the bat for the Hogs. You've got Iredale, Kojal, and Diggs coming up, all home run power, and that will bring head coach Kirk Saarloos out of the dugout. Yeah, critical part of the game here. You just can't afford to go too long. Even as good as Laporte has been, you know, some fatigue starting to set in at the 83 pitch mark, and I think this is a check to see if he's got anything left in the tank.
Well, we've gathered this over the years talking with Kirk Saarloos. He is such an even kill, cool, calm, and collected guy. And he brings that exact sort of approach when he comes out to the mound. It's a great tool to settle down a pitcher.
Yeah, slowing the game down. You can see the smile on Kirk's face. Just the fact that he, says, "Hey, I believe in you, kid. Let's get back in that zone. You've been great all night. I'm going to let you go," and puts the ball back into his starter's mitt.
Leadoff walk to Maxwell. Iredale ahead in the count 1-0. He moves a spot back in the order from the 3 to 4 hole tonight, coming off a huge opening week for Arkansas. Takes a fastball outside, 2-0. Hit 2 home runs over the weekend, drove in 9. And head coach Dave Van Horn was raving about him to the media all week.
Well, you can see where the priority with Iredale is just keep the ball down in the zone.
Another fastball misses. 7 straight balls to open the inning, and now there's double-barreled action out in the TCU pen.
And you saw that big deep breath by Laporte, just trying to gather himself.
Finds the inside edge, sorely needed.
It doesn't get any easier from here. He's got the left-hander Kojal on deck.
Inside, ball 4. Laporte now up to 87 pitches, and that will likely do it. As head coach Kirk Saarloos immediately makes the call to the pen.
Yeah, now the Hogs are getting called, and yeah, Laporte was really good up until the 7th inning. Yeah, Lex had only given up a couple of hits, but He'll be responsible for Maxwell and Iredale on base.
So Kirk Saarloos makes the call to his pen. It's Luca Shin, redshirt senior transfer from Washington, set to enter in a sticky spot. First 2 on, nobody out in the top of the 7th. Shin into the game next with TCU nursing a 1-run lead.
Curley celebrating 30 meters out.
5,000 meters on the track, ready to roll. Collegiate national lead.
Going to close there on her inside, but it looks like Shaki could take this front to back. 200-meter final.
Brad Fisher, the American record holder. This is superhuman.
But Holloway crossed the London. He's only 3 100s outside the world record.
One 0 TCU in the 7th, but how this game can change in a hurry. Thought it might be 2-0, Pat, but ever since this play by Charles Davallon, Arkansas has had life.
Yeah, it's amazing how momentum can shift so quickly in baseball, and it can come on defense. What a great play by Davallon to save a run off the bat of Carson Bowen. And instead of 2-0, as the Hogs enter the 7th inning, it's 1-0, and now they've got 2 runners on base, 1 in scoring position. And TCU has made their first pitching change.
After back-to-back walks, Tommy Lepore given the hook after 6+ innings of 2-hit baseball. Sets up Gianluca Shin. Goes by Luca. He knows what he's doing. A lefty who spent 3 years at Washington and a reliable lefty-on-lefty reliever. 42 career appearances. With a bunt shown, it's put down by Kojal. The throw is dug out. Nicely done by Cadena as Kojal does his job. Maxwell moves up to 3rd. Iredale the go-ahead run to 2nd.
Yeah, well done by Kojal. Just executed perfectly. Makes Preston Gamster come up to field it. He'll execute the sacrifice. And now Arkansas with a couple of runners in scoring position. Left-handed specialist Shin comes in and does the job. He'll be a late inning kind of matchup type lefty for TCU. Not overpowering. The fastball sits in the low 90s. Good slider changeup combination.
And was set to face another lefty, Kendall Diggs, but Dave Van Horn goes to his bench. And this will make Arkansas fans happy. It's the sophomore Kuhio Oloy. Had a big blast yesterday.
Yeah, backing up his brother, who had hit 2 batters earlier. That was an upper deck shot for Aloy, and it looks like Kirk Saarloos is going to play some matchup baseball. He did not want to see that happen again today with Kuhio Aloy in the batter's box.
It's not like the new Major League rules where you have to face 3 batters minimum. Shin comes in, gets all warm and sweaty, throws 1 pitch, and now he's out of there. Makes sense as we go to the bullpen once again, and the moment of the game. It's the new TCU closer replacing that role that was occupied by Ben Abelt. But it's a guy with a lot of experience. Luis Rodriguez, former honorable mention, all Big 12 reliever. And some words of advice from his head coach, Kirk Saarloos, setting up a popcorn-inducing matchup when we return. It's the spot of the game. 1-0 TCU on top of Arkansas with runners on second and third. One out the top of the seventh. One of the best relievers Kirk Saarloos has coming into the game. He's been awesome already this year, Pat. 2 appearances, allowing just 1 run.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. Now gets reunited with his catcher Carson Bowen, high school teammates. Now battery mates here, and that ball smoked.
Cahillo Aloy, has he done it again? He has, off the wall. 2 Razorbacks score as they take the lead. Aloy fell rounding first, but he's able to get back on his feet and into second base with a double. What another moment for Cahillo Aloy.
Now the transfer from BYU is just putting on a show in this tournament, but how about that? Steps up against Luis Rodriguez and wastes no time. Hit that double off the wall in left field. And Arkansas takes the lead on the 2 RBI double from Cahillo Aloy.
Watch
that
out.
bag. Sniper got him.
He was fortunate that he did at least get part of the main bag that now counts at first base. We saw that happen last night to K-State against Arkansas. Another slip rounding the base where the runner only touched the outside bag. This ball's hit well to center field. Brunson moving back, but looks to have enough room as he makes the catch. Aloy was halfway, and he goes back, does not tag on the flyout by Ryder Helfrich. But 2 pitches and 2 pieces of hard contact from Arkansas.
That was, I guess, the key for the Razorbacks. Just get Tommy Lepore out of there. These bats have come alive this inning. A couple of walks, though, opened the door. That was the mistake. Lepore with the 2 walks to open the frame. Such a well-pitched game up to that point, but Arkansas does what Arkansas does. They get an opportunity, and the door was open.
Long look from Kirk Saarloos in that dugout. As Gabe Frazier comes to the plate, 0 for 2 so far. And an Arkansas lineup that had just been brutal 5 through 9. 3 for 20 last night with 8 strikeouts. I mean, nobody 1 through 9 was doing anything tonight, but here they get the hit from Aloy, pinch hitting in the 6th spot. As that's taken for a called strike, 0-1.
Yeah, finally a pitch that makes it to the glove. He'd slide it open the frame against Frazier.
Just high on a cutter to Frazier, 1-1. This is the 39th career appearance for Luis Rodriguez. He's done a little bit of everything. Been a starter, 13 starts. He's come in to close games. He's saved 5 ball games for TCU. Again, goes off speed and finds the zone, 1-2.
Yeah, backdoor break with that time. And yeah, the emergence of Rodriguez as the potential closer coming into the season allowed Kirk Saarloos to have that conversation with Ben Abel to try to make him a starter.
Swing and a miss. Gets Frazier on the slider, but not before the damage is done. Kuhio Aloy comes up clutch for a second straight night. Last night it was a solo home run that tied the game in the 6th inning. Tonight, Aloy with the go-ahead double in the 7th. As we hit stretch time, it's Aloy off the wall, giving Arkansas the 1-run lead on top of TCU. 2-1 Arkansas lead. Shirts are off. It's the Amegy Bank 7th inning stretch. Arkansas getting a huge shot in the arm. The 2-run double from Kuhio Aloy to give them a 2-1 lead. And now all bets are off, Pat. Both starters were awesome. They're both out of the game, and now it's Landon Beidelshees, who is predicted to be a starter. How long can he go as he starts this inning against Sam Myers?
Well, he's been stretched out. He can make it, rest of the game if he can maintain his current production. Retired the first 3 TCU hitters he faced back in the 6th.
2-0 to Sam Myers as he starts the inning with a lefty-lefty matchup and fires that one in there for a strike. And in a perfect world, if you're Dave Van Horn, you just let him keep rocking. We've seen this TCU offense come alive at a moment's notice. One of the best in the country. Pulls back on a fastball low, and it's 3-1. Ball 4 on the fastball outside.
Yeah, not the guy you want to walk either. Sam Myers can just flat run. So tying run on base for the Frogs with some speed.
You see the catcher Ryder Helfrich coming out, setting the defense as Sam Myers is aboard. Guy who has 2 stolen bases in 2 attempts this year, had a couple last year as well. And Anthony Silva is at the plate. Watches a fastball up high.
They're not showing bunt either. Kirk Saros likes to match up with the left-hander Beidelshees.
A much different circumstance for Beidelshees than his team debut. He started the Monday game, final game of the quadruple header series against Wazoo, and 5 innings, just 1 run, only 1 walk allowed, and 7 strikeouts.
Yeah, if he's not going to bunt Silva, that tells you that Myers has the green light at first base. So see if Myers picks the right pitch to run on. Beidelshees not quick to the plate.
Got him on the pickoff, though. The throw to second is in time. Myers going on first movement, and Beidelshees was all over it.
Yeah, you saw Myers kind of hopping off the bag. He really telegraphed that he was going. You see the feet were moving, and Beidelshees picked it up. Great job, and good throw from Cam Kojal. Don't like to go over the top of a base runner like that, but that's exactly what Kojal did. He felt like he had time to do it. And Wahiba Aloy applies the tag.
Silva fouls it off. A tough pill to swallow, though, if you're TCU. You get the leadoff runner aboard. Silva, who's in the past been a cleanup type hitter, now at the bottom of your order, about to turn things over, and then you run into an out.
Yeah, you felt like when he didn't show bunt that at some point TCU was going to put Myers in motion.
Powered in the gap to left center. Thomas on his horse. Can he get there? You bet. Tremendous speed out in center field, and he chases it down for the second out.
Yeah, just an unbelievable play from the Razorback center fielder, Justin Thomas Jr. Just perfectly turned those hips and went after it towards that gap, but he was full sprint to get to it. Silva put a charge into it. Thomas reels it in. Yeah, great job of just getting to the spot where he knew that ball was headed. Made it look easy.
First pitch strike to Sawyer Stroh-Snyder. Watching this game on TV, it's a major league park. You get kind of used to visually a center fielder at the major league level tracking a ball down. That one's chopped to the right side, but that's not an easy play whatsoever made by Thomas. And after the leadoff walk, Beidelshees gets the pickoff and the fly out and the ground out, and we go to the 8th. Arkansas still up 2-1. Two-1 Arkansas going to the top of the 8th on what's been an electric night at Globe Life Field. Just shy of 18,000. The second largest to attend a college baseball game in Globe Life Field short history, Pat.
Outstanding. what a crowd, and they brought the energy as well. And it was the same crowd back in 2023. That's the only crowd that's been larger than this one. Same two teams. Just over 20,000 fans on that date in 23, but what an electric crowd tonight and they are seeing a gem of a ball game.
I just thought they came to see you because the last time we had a crowd this big, you and I were in these same seats. It was the same two teams, but the game could not have felt any different. TCU won that game 18-6. Arkansas had 9 different pitchers appear in that game. It took about 4 hours to play, and tonight it's been all pitching. That's the story.
Yeah, what a couple of seasons make, right? But
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, great pitching performance by both Tommy Lepore and Zach Root. Just a couple of mistakes made by each one. Both of them came through the free pass. The only run that Root gave up was a leadoff walk back in the 4th. That was to Chase Brunson. He came around to score. Well, Tommy Lepore turned the table, did the same thing, walked his first 2 guys this past 7th inning. Maxwell and Iredale both came around to score. That's the difference in the game. 3 free passes.
This man, Mason Bixby, was not yet in the TCU program when we called that game in 2023, where we had over 20,000 here. He had a solid freshman campaign, a big righty on the mound, 6'7", 240. Started a couple midweek games last year. As we get a stoppage, I believe a pitch comm issue for Bixby.
Yeah, you need to change those batteries every once in a while. You can see the new communications. We've seen teams with the pitch watch. Horned Frogs like to use the intercom system. Both pitcher and catcher can hear from the bench the pitch call.
Maybe we can add that to Ben Abelt's list of duties out there. Director of bullpen operations and pitch comm battery recharge.
There you go. Make sure it's in the on position.
First pitch smacked. Oh, caught. Oh, Anthony Silva, get out of here.
110 off the bat of Justin Thomas Jr. Silva goes up, backhands, makes an unbelievable catch. That ball was absolutely torched. Yeah, Mr. Bixby says, I'll take that. Whew, man.
Thank you very much. I mean, the defense tonight has been big league level.
Oh, it really has been. Both teams playing solid. Only had the 1 error. That led to the TCU run, but some unbelievable plays. Outfield play and
Davalon, yeah,
and infield, yep.
The one who robbed the home run of Carson Bowen a couple innings ago. That spurred the big turnaround for Arkansas, which they paid off. The next inning, Kuhio Oloy hit the go-ahead 2-run double. And now we have more pitch comm issues.
Yep, now he's going to trade with his third baseman. Yeah, I think Kirk Sarlo says, hey, I want to get this figured out. He says, here, take this one. It's got a new battery in it. He's asking for a test. Somebody say something so I can hear. Modern day baseball, Ben.
Mm-hmm. None of those in the late 80s, Pat? Didn't have an extra one just hanging out at Veterans Stadium?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
That was a fun part of the game, trying to pick signs from each team. You know, that's how the game has changed. No more ways to pick up on the opposing team signs.
I like how Kirk Sarlis is just chucking those things around as if they aren't some super expensive piece of electric equipment.
Yeah, I like what head coach from Michigan, Tracy Smith, said. He said, you know, if you got to go to all this technical stuff and all these communication systems and that speak about the game, like, can we just not try to cheat? Right?
Tracy Smith taking a very optimistic approach, unfortunately.
That's right.
If only it was that simple. Big swing and a miss. Cut fastball to Davalon. 0 for 3 with the strikeout at the top of the order.
Yeah, I think
of Montreal.
As long as sports exist, there's always going to be teams trying to find that edge.
Pounds one down the line, but hooking fast and foul.
Yeah, Davlon's got one of those setups and approaches. He's got to be on time. He's got that big leg kick. He's got to get that foot down and be on time. He's been a little bit late with fastballs, been a little bit early with breaking pitches.
Behind 0-2. Upstairs with the fastball. They call him Chuck in Fayetteville. He is draft eligible as a sophomore. Really good start to his career at Florida Gulf Coast. Had a solid mid-major program. High pop-up. Is there enough room? Gamster, yes, he has plenty of it and makes the catch in foul territory.
Yeah, that time Bixby pulled the string on Davlon, changed speeds on him, and got him out in front. Bixby will run the fastball up mid-90s. He'll touch 97. And a cut fastball, a slider, and that changeup.
Pitched well in his first appearance this season. Went 2 innings against San Diego. Struck out 4. Only allowed 1 hit. Vahiva Aloy takes a first pitch cut fastball in for a strike. Big wave and a miss.
Yeah, 96 up top. Got to stay off that pitch.
Well, last night he and his brother Kuhio each hit solo home runs. It would be impossible for Vahiva to hit a 2-run double in this position.
Almost got him.
Just inside 1-2.
And now Bixby's opened up the outside part of the plate if he wants to attack with a cutter or slider.
Got him. 96, and you can tell that one stung.
And just kept trying to go to the well inside, and that time a little too far inside.
TCU's Carson Bowen got plunked on a similar type pitch, and now it's Vahiva Aloy.
Yeah.
Where's that one?
Oh. Somebody throw that guy an ice pack.
He's at first. Logan Maxwell comes up. The former Horned Frog has walked and then scored last inning. That's always the insult to injury when you get plunked and now you're forced to dive back to first. And they slap that tag right on the back where you just got nailed. Maxwell watches a slider find the top of the zone.
Yeah, Loy likes to run. I'm sure would like to get himself to second base, see if Arkansas can add some insurance.
There was a stretch in this game where Arkansas would have felt fortunate just to tie the game. Instead, they got the timely 2-run double last inning from Kuhio Aloy. Now can they add that insurance like you're talking about? And again, they throw over. Drawing the ire of this partisan Arkansas crowd.
Almost threw that one away, though. Good scoop by Cadena at first base to keep it from going into the dugout.
Runner goes. Maxwell flared on the left field line. It hangs up long enough for the catch to be made. Myers gets over there and makes the catch. Bixby with a relatively clean inning. It stays 2-1 Arkansas to the bottom of the 8th. 2 on Arkansas, headed to the bottom of the 8th. A couple ranked teams tonight. How about Wednesday night as the Amegy Bank College Baseball Series presented by Kubota continues with a midweek tilt. Number 3 LSU taking on 20th ranked Dallas Baptist. It's Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. Catch all the action right here on Flow College. They are really excited, the folks who run all the operations here in Arlington, about getting LSU into this building. Might not have 20,000 since it's a midweek, but there will be a lot of LSU fans making the trip.
Yeah, they travel well. There's a good contingency of alums in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So they will come out to support the Tigers.
Meanwhile, top of the order for TCU, Preston Gamster takes a called strike. Landon Beidelshees back out there, his 3rd inning of work. What an opportunity this would be for Beidelshees to immediately establish himself as a fan favorite. This is just high here, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, a couple of clean innings, only 1 walk given up so far.
In on the hands as that one's popped foul, gets into the stands behind home plate. Ohio State knew coming out of high school they had a gem in Landon Beidelshees, and that it would also be very hard for them to keep him. He's an Ohio kid from Canfield and was just ridiculous in high school. Line shot, base hit. It's Preston Gamster erases an 0 for 3 2 strikeout night with a clean single to start the Horned Frogs off in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, Beidelshees tried to finish him with that slider. That's accounted for a number of strikeouts. Not that time. Gamster turns it around, and great job as leadoff hitter for the Frogs here in the 8th inning.
Even though it's lefty on lefty, we know Isaac Candida has a big bat. He showed it yesterday, and it was in a lefty-lefty matchup just like this.
That's right, and on a breaking ball. Yeah, just stayed behind that pitch really well, and one of those hitters you love to have in this spot. Super competitive and just a good contact hitter with some pop.
After the first pitch strike, there's a breaking ball that he lays off of, just out of the zone. Another thing to watch here is Preston Gamster at first base. Hasn't tried to steal this year. This is only his 3rd start, but last inning, Horned Frogs got the leadoff runner aboard. Beidelshees picked him off. And the pickoff was on the 3rd successive attempt over, where he got Sam Myers attempting to steal on first movement.
Yeah, Myers kind of telegraphed that. He was off the bag quite a bit, then trying to start getting his feet going, and Beidelshees picked it up and went over for that 3rd time. That was a charm.
Power fastball. Nothing you can do with that as a lefty. At the knees, on the edge. Beidelshees had 3 no-hitters and a perfect game as a high school senior for Canfield High. Sliced foul down the left field line.
There was a big hole on that Arkansas infield between Kojal and Frazier. Gabe Frazier, the second baseman, pulled around towards second base. Don't expect Cadena to try to pull the ball through that hole, especially with 2 strikes.
He does know Beidelshees well. They were teammates after all last year. And he stays alive. So they've met in fall ball and in scrimmages, but never in a real game until now.
It certainly helps a hitter to see a pitcher at least a couple of times, you know, just to pick up spin and see what kind of movement they have on their fastball.
Chopper handled by Kojal, flips to short for 1. Oh, big collision as Kojal hangs on for the double play. Oh, what an effort by the Arkansas first baseman.
Yeah, a huge collision at first base, and at the front of the play was run perfectly by Kojal, picked up the ground ball, got on the inside track and Lloyd back to him, but Kozel's setup was right on top of the bag at first base. And there's going to be an argument here from Kirk Saarloos. Did my player have enough of an opportunity to step on the bag? Kozel completely blocked both bases.
He just totally lost track of where he was. And Kirk Saarloos has every right now to argue this.
Yeah, you wonder if that's a reviewable play or not, but I think this is more going back to the rule of interference at first base. Kozel had that right leg. Looked like he put his knee on top of the white bag. And then, of course, the safety bag, the green bag, his leg and body were completely on top of it. At the moment, it's a double play by Arkansas's defense. A couple of outs recorded, so unless this Big 12 umpire crew chooses to overturn that call. Yeah, look at the block of first base there. TCU was going to challenge that call.
You don't blame Kirk Saarloos. It was a really awkward play at first. It was close to begin with, whether it was safe or out, and then you have the matter of interference.
Yeah, the proper ruling is obstruction of the bag, and so that's going to be the call. Was Kozel obstructing the ability of Cadena, the offensive player, to touch the base? Yeah, so we'll take a different look at it again. Of course, the umpires are going to go back and see the same looks that we're seeing on replay.
Based on the new rules, they have made it known that when an initial play is being made on the batter at first base, the defense must use the white section of the double base, and the runner has to use the colored base. And obviously, based on where Kozel ended up, he was not on the white base.
Yeah, and that is a new rule put into effect this year.
There's an exception to that if an errant throw pulls the defense off the white portion of the base into foul ground. The runner could use either side of the double base, but you wouldn't really qualify that as an errant throw, right? That was more just defensive lack of positioning and awareness more than anything.
That's exactly right. And yeah, Kozel just didn't realize where he was. He was just scrambling to try to get, back into the play there to receive the throw from Alloy to complete the double play. So obviously he was not, I think, purposely trying to obstruct, but there's no doubt it interfered with the ability for Cadena to touch the green bag, which is now been put into effect. It's really a safety rule to try to cut down on the collisions at first base. And then you have a play like that, and there's no bag in the world to put there that's going to prevent it.
I mean, you could have stacked like 4 of those bags next to each other,
That's
and
right.
that still would have been really awkward. Well, it doesn't take away from how incredible an effort that was from Kozel.
Yeah, Kozel looked like a hockey goalie trying to square up to receive a puck. Yeah, that's a big body dude too, Cam Kozel. And you saw Cadena just tried to avoid the collision at the last second, but there was no place for him to go.
So regardless, Gamster is out at second. And we think, right, Pat? I mean, Cadena will be awarded first base as a result of this.
Well, I would think so. I mean, the only thing I think the umpires could rule is that the ball would have beaten Cadena anyway. So did the obstruction occur to prevent the out or for Cadena to become safe at first? And we'll let the umpires do their job. I'm still on the side of, I think there was obstruction there with first base. There was just nowhere for Cadena to go. They're going to rule them both out.
Uphold him. Yep. Double play. Well, Kirk Saarloos wants an additional explanation, and Chris Koski, the home plate umpire, part of this review. He certainly understands and will explain this to Kirk Zarlos. This is a new rule, so there's a lot of new interpretation to be done.
Yeah, I think that's what Kirk wants to know. Is that a judgment call?
Yeah.
Or is that a rule call? And is a new rule in effect being used on this particular play? Because he just says, I just need to understand the rule.
In the meantime, that's all for Beidelshees. With the heart of the order coming up for TCU, he gets a huge hand after going 2 2/3, 33 pitches, and looked as good as advertised.
Yeah, great job by Beidelshees, and did everything you asked him to do there, and he was sharp.
The only hit he gave up, wiped out on that brilliant 3-6-3 double play that does stand. Kojal to Aloy, right back to Kojal. New pitcher for the Hogs, Christian Fouch, coming in. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th, in a scintillating 1-run game. Back at Globe Life Field, 2-1 lead for Arkansas. 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the 8th, and it's Christian Fouch who enters after Landon Beidelshees was amazing, Pat, in his 2 2/3 innings. Now they hand the ball over to the junior righty, viewed to be a legit option as a setup guy this year.
Yeah, could even be a co-closer. You know, it just depends on how this early season goes. But Fouch, one of those power arms, and when you see 88 to 90 flashed up on the screen, don't mistake that for his fastball. That's his changeup. His fastball is going to be 98, 99 miles an hour, and he throws a cutter in the low 90s.
This is on the first pitch to Chase Brunson. Big wave and a miss. 99 from Christian Fouch.
Yeah, with movement down in the zone.
Can you believe that he doesn't even throw the hardest among the Hogs relievers?
That's hard to even believe.
Carson Wiggins will be getting loose soon. He's the closer, at least to start the year. On the outside edge, right back to 99.
Yeah, you see that leverage that Fouch creates. He just kind of gets down into those legs really well, and then just whips the fastball.
Christian Fouch, the 10th pitcher in college baseball this year to reach 99. This one off the end of the bat, out to right field. Ranging over and making the catch in right is the newcomer Bowles, just brought into the game for defensive purposes. Carson Bowles with the catch, and we go to the 9th in a 2-1 game. Not a lot of offense, but as we go to the 9th inning, the offense that Arkansas has supplied has been timely. Came in the 7th inning, one key hit. Kuhio Oloy, a 2-run double. That's how Arkansas has the lead as we go to the 9th.
Yeah, Dave Van Horn pulled the string and inserted Kuhio Oloy as a pinch hitter. He comes through in a major way. Arkansas had not seen the scoreboard until that ringing double off the wall. This game of just can't make many mistakes in a game like this, either defensively or on the mound. And all 3 runs tonight, Ben, have been accounted for by a free pass. 3 walks.
Brent Iredale takes the first pitch inside on a fastball. Mason Bixby out there for his 2nd inning of work and relief. Pitched a clean 8th, worked around a 2-out hit by pitch. Just misses on the fastball. TCU does have the heart of the order. 4, 5, 6 due up in the bottom of the 9th. Arkansas would love to get a little breathing room here in a game that has been super tight, well played throughout. Chopper backhanded really nicely by Gamster over at 3rd, making it look easy for the first out. Continues the theme of the night, which has been brilliance out in the field.
Yeah, nice play by the freshman 3rd baseman. Ball that you knew was going to take that quick hop, that 2nd hop with a lot of topspin, and really remained calm and had a nice backhanded scoop. Strong throw across the diamond. We've seen that arm flashed a couple of times today.
Doing that in front of a guy who used to play a pretty good 3rd base at TCU, Matt Carpenter. Went on to win a World Series for the St. Louis Cardinals. He was one of the 2 guys throwing out the first pitch tonight as that swung on and missed. The other was Craig Gentry. Big thanks to Craig for stopping by the booth earlier, former Arkansas Razorback. 0-1, excuse me, to Cam Kojal. His sacrifice bunt helped set up that 2-run double as the fastball misses outside.
Yeah, Carp, one of the all-time greats for to put on a Horned Frog uniform, and would have had him up here tonight, but he was entertaining his family, so we gave him the pass.
We did. Fastball up high, 2-1. It's all right, we'll get him next time. No worries. People don't usually turn you down. You can ask basically anybody.
Yeah, enjoyed talking to that guy. I've known Matt Carpenter since he was about 8 years old.
This one flown into left. Sam Myers is there, and he makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down for Bixby in the 9th.
Yeah, Carpenter is the son of a baseball coach. When I met him, he was at Elkins High School down in the Houston area before he moved up, took over the Prosper program. Rick Carpenter, one of the all-time great Texas high school baseball coaches.
That runs deep in this state, doesn't it? You know all about that. As Carson Bowles steps in. Fastball just inside. He came in after we had the pinch hitter Kuhio Oloy had the 2-run double. Oloy was taken out of the game. Bates came in to replace him in right field for defensive purposes. Now he gets his first AB as that one's just inside. 2-0 in the first plate appearance of the season for Carson Bowles, senior from Tennessee. Up and in. 3-0. Former Division II All-American draws a 4-pitch walk. Bowles' first AB. It won't be an AB, just his first plate appearance as a Division I player goes for a free pass. Had a great career at Lincoln Memorial, a D2 school in Tennessee. And now he's aboard with 2 outs for Ryder Helfrich. Takes the first pitch fastball, 5 straight balls to Ryder Helfrich. He has a very apt first name, Pat, because growing up he was a competitive dirt biker.
Yeah, that's perfect, right?
And how about that? Can't make it up.
Can't make that one up.
His older brother Leighton, who plays baseball at UC Davis, said Ryder was just classic balls to the wall, hair on fire type of literal rider. And he ultimately retired as a 9-year-old from competitive dirt biking.
Yeah, made a good decision. I think he's got a future in this game.
I think so. Watches a slider in there for a strike. I just love any reference to somebody retiring at age 9. Wouldn't we have all loved
classic,
that?
Yeah.
Hung up the bike or the helmet, or
Right.
however you phrase it. Avoided serious injury. Now he's taking over this year as the starting catcher at Arkansas. And that comes with a lot of importance, not just as a hitter, but when you are the one trusted to help develop that relationship with a pitching staff expected to be one of the best in the country.
Yeah, great degree of trust with Helfrich.
Pops one up, just foul, straight up the chute.
Yeah, I retired from singing when I was 9.
Yeah,
because I couldn't. Yeah.
That was a tough choice, I imagine. Didn't want to do it, but
yeah,
you had to focus on baseball.
I wasn't forced to do the piano lessons. You were,
like I was?
Yeah, you were forced, yeah.
Yeah.
That borderline child abuse.
My mom's watching. She's gonna be upset with me, Pat. Pickoff throw over to first.
My apologies to Miss Wilson, but
it's okay.
Raised a great kid. Love this guy.
I need to sneak into the organ room and tickle the keys over there. That ball almost gets away. 2-1 here in the top of the 9th. We've had a blast hanging out last couple weekends with our outstanding crew putting in long hours. I think the crew is happy to see how well played this game has been. Biggest crowd of the weekend, just under 18,000, second biggest crowd in Globe Life history for collegiate baseball. Runner goes. This one's turned on and pounded foul.
Yeah, third deck. Haven't seen one in the third deck yet. It's gonna be a lonely ball for a while, maybe till the Rangers get back.
I bet you there's an Arkansas fan who's on the prowl.
Sneak up there and grab it.
Runner goes again. This time a called strike 3. Fastball paints the inside corner. Mason Bixby, 2 strong innings of relief as we head to the bottom of the 9th. Do we have some more drama from Globe Life Field? We'll find out right after this. Here we go. It's the bottom of the 9th inning. Arkansas 2, TCU 1, and the middle of the Horned Frog order coming up. And the nightcap, day 2 of this Amegy College Baseball Series presented by Kubota. Arkansas lost a one-run heartbreaker last night. Now they're trying to shut the door with Christian Fouch attempting to pick up his second career save, and he has to face the talented freshman Noah Franco to start the inning.
Yeah, middle of this TCU lineup, and a couple of really good fastball hitters, and Noah Franco and Carson Bowen coming up. Cole Kramer in between those two. Frogs need base runners.
It's been an amazing transition and improvement over the first 2 years from freshman to sophomore for Christian Fouch. Misses a fastball high and outside. He goes from 8.76 ERA as a freshman. And on Dave Van Horn's Arkansas staff, if those are your numbers, it's hard to earn that trust. 12 walks to 9 strikeouts. This one punched to the left side. That's falling fast and it's down. Leadoff single for Noah Franco.
Yeah, we talk about Franco being a good fastball hitter, and he gets a 96-mile-an-hour sinker from Fouch. Just does a great job of staying down through the ball. Sometimes you just got to take what the pitcher gives, and that's exactly what Noah Franco does. Just a really mature freshman hitter.
He's been so impressive all weekend now. 2 for 4. He gets a nice hand as he comes out of the game. Colton Griffin, who started last night, enters as a pinch runner. Fouch gave up a leadoff single in the 8th, then erased it on a double play.
Yeah, Frogs got what they wanted. Winning run at the plate.
Cole Kramer takes a fastball on the inside corner. So Fouch goes from that 8.76 ERA, more walks and strikeouts. All of a sudden he turns it around. He found something, Pat. Last year, 20 appearances, pitched 22 1/3, allowed a whopping 2 earned runs, 7 walks to 20 punchouts.
Yeah, well, it's a credit to Fouch, but I also think about what Matt Hobbs does with pitchers. He takes throwers and he makes pitchers out of them. You know, you get to college and you can throw a 92, 95-mile-an-hour fastball. You know, Matt Hobbs is thinking, okay, I'm going to get this guy to 97, 98, but I'm also going to get him there with command.
As good of an example of that as anybody, Christian Fouch. 0-2 to Kramer. Poked to the right side, caught, double play.
Wow. Heads up play by Gabe Frazier. That ball was smacked off the bat of Kramer, but Colton Griffin's got to recognize you got to freeze the line drive. He took 2 steps towards second. He's dead to rights. Ozil knows it. Yeah, Frazier set up perfectly. Hogs 1 out away.
And it's down to Carson Bowen, the man who thought he should have had a solo home run earlier today, only to be robbed by Charles Davalon at the wall. Upstairs with the fastball.
Now, if you're Fouch, you got to be thinking something breaking away off the bat of Bowen. Show the fastball up in the zone, but out pitch against him is going to be that slider down and away.
Just saw that look a moment ago at Nolan Souza. Fastball called strike. Give credit to him. He just came in for defensive purposes, and that's a pretty good defensive play. As much as that ball was right at him. Second double play in as many innings TCU has hit into. Wave and a miss on a changeup, and Arkansas is a strike away. Nearly 18,000 strong, many of them Hog fans come to their feet. Just outside. Good take by Bowen on the changeup.
Yeah, Helford tried to pull it back in, but that ball was outside. And Good job by Bowen to recognize it.
Fouls it off. You know you get a quality AB whenever Carson Bowen's at the plate.
Yeah, he's going to battle. He's not going to make it easy.
Big deep breath from Christian Fouch. He's only done this once before. Pick up a save. In the dirt. No chase from Bowen. This is Carson Bowen's 411th career at bat. He's got as much experience as anybody in the college game. A career 300 hitter in his time in Fort Worth. The 3-2. Outside ball 4. What an AB by Bowen. Did not chase after being down in the count 1-2.
Yeah, that's just a veteran hitter. Just being patient. Fighting off those high 90s fastballs and sliders in the dirt. Bowen as good as anybody on this lineup that can do that. Of course, he'll be pinch run 4. Great at bat.
Sam Myers will come to the plate, someone who's had quite the flair for the dramatic, as Cole Eaton takes over at first, the pinch runner. And this is Fouch's game. Nobody moving in any way down in the Arkansas pen.
Another guy that really battles well at the plate. Sam Myers, tough out.
On the inside corner, strike 1. He was the hero last year in this series at Globe Life Field. A walk-off base hit to beat USC in extra innings after TCU had come back to tie the game in the bottom of the 9th. Fouls it back. 98 on the fastball, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, Fouch reaching back for a little extra juice. Cole Eaton with a really short lead at first base.
Once again, Arkansas a pitch away. And what's been an outstanding game from start to finish. 2-1, bottom of the 9th, 1 on, 2 outs. Just outside, back to the change.
Yeah, just wasted that changeup.
What do you go back to here if you're Fouch?
Yeah, I think Fouch is thinking fastball up, try to get it above his hand, see if he'll get Myers to chase.
Shakes off his catcher Ryder Helfrich. Now he's ready. Runner goes. Upstairs, throw to second is not in time. It's into center field. Eaton goes first to third, and now a wild pitch could tie the game.
Yeah, ill-advised throw from catcher Ryder Helfrich. That was an easy stolen base for Eaton. Should have just held on to it. That's a throw you just eat. Yeah, it was a big jump at first base. Fouch was just not paying attention to him, and now this changes things, because now you can't bury that breaking ball.
And Fouch will see the pinch runner Cole Eaton in his peripheral vision as he digs in a 2-2 pitch. Still 1 strike away for Arkansas. Just inside. Didn't miss by much on the 97-mile-an-hour heater.
Yeah, pitch track is going to show that pitch a couple of balls in. Helfrich does a great job of framing pitches and tried to buy that strike, but Chris Koski's having none of it.
Another 3-2. Fouled off by Myers. Is this good or what?
Yeah. And Fouch does not want to give up the free base either. That's winning run at first base, so he's going to have to challenge Myers.
Everybody on their feet at Globe Life Field. One more 3-2. Upstairs, ball 4 wasn't close.
Well, Ben, we talk about the moments of a game, and when the moment gets big, you have to see how players react. And that time, Myers wins against Fouch, puts the winning run for TCU at first base. And now Matt Hobbs is going to have that discussion. Part of this is going to be settling Fouch down. Part of it's going to be how do you want to approach Anthony Silva. And the final part of this discussion is going to focus around how do we want to play the first and third situation if Bill Mosiello wants to send Myers from first base. You definitely want to keep Myers off a second. You don't want him in scoring position. So Arkansas will run their best first and third play here, try to keep him off second should he go. Myers has also been coached to not run into a tag, so I would imagine they're going to let Silva swing the bat here, but if they get down 2 strikes, will they send Myers? And now Kozel not even holding Myers on at first base. Now he's going to get back to the bag. Okay, now he realizes, wait a minute, we can't give this bag up.
Keep in mind, the last time Sam Myers was at first, he got caught stealing, was picked off by Landon Beidelshe's the lefty. It's Anthony Silva who digs in. Winning run at first, tying run at third. Fouls it back. A guy who has as much experience on the TCU roster against Arkansas as anybody. Anthony Silva, 15 career at-bats against Arkansas. 4 hits, 3 RBI. Even though he's 0 for 3 tonight with a strikeout, this is a hitter who regained his confidence in the offseason, and what an awesome battle between Silva and the outstanding reliever Christian Fouch.
And Myers really shortened up the lead at first.
Fouled back. Third straight batter. Fouch has gotten ahead 0-2 or 1-2.
Yeah, a couple of fastballs up in the zone, and this is where you just want to climb the ladder if you're Fouch. Silva's willing to try to swing at pitches chest high, then just climb the ladder. Just got to be careful about burying that breaking ball here. Don't want to take the risk of one getting away from Helfrich.
Outside, a delayed steal. They don't throw this time as Myers, the winning run, moves to second base.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake by Arkansas, just to allow the winning run to get to second base there. Fouch just did not do a good job of holding runners.
1-2. Chopped foul. You can feel the nervous energy in this building. For as much noise as everybody was making all night, it's nearly silent now.
Yeah, Arkansas fans mostly on their feet, just begging for this last strike. But Anthony Silva, he's a battler, he's a competitor. He's going to make it difficult.
Fouch looks in. The 1-2. Just outside. Went slider. Silva didn't chase. 2-2.
That's a good pitch. You want to start that pitch down the middle if you're Fouch. Let it work to the outside. See if he goes back to the fastball here.
Swing and a miss. Fouch delivers, and Arkansas wins. felt like postseason baseball tonight. Amazing plays at the plate, in the field, and on the mound, and it's Arkansas who gets the one-run win.
Yeah, that sure did. That felt like we're sitting here in May at a postseason game for a regional. That did not feel like an early season game, sixth game of the season. What a game put on by both these clubs. 2-1 Arkansas, they win it. Every run accounted for by a walk, but Arkansas with the big hit. There's the strikeout. Fouch gets it by Silva.
You were right, Pat. Went back to the fastball, and it finally paid off.
Yeah, had him set up for it, just had to get it above his hands, and Fouch did a great job of executing that pitch, and Arkansas comes away with the big win.
How about Landon Beidelshe's 2 appearances, 2 wins to start his Arkansas career. Came in relief this time, 2 2/3, kept things 1-0. Then the game-winning hit. Second straight game with a huge hit for Kuhio Oloy. The 2-run go-ahead double was the difference in the 7th.
Yeah, how about that? Coming cold off the bench and delivering yet again. Had the big home run last night, and tonight gets the double to win the game, and he is our player of the game.
We'll be speaking with Kuhio in just a moment as we send it down to our Lienza Peroni down on the field.
Bounced back to get a top 25 win tonight. What was the approach coming into this game to make sure that you could keep this TCU offense at bay?
You know, trust the defense and try to get the bats rolling.
You got a home run last night with your brother and a big RBI double tonight. What does it feel like to get a big hit like that inside of a big league park?
Feels good, you know, just trying to hit it hard.
The Arkansas Razorback fans came in and they were loud. I think it is only fair with the second largest crowd in college baseball history at Globe Life to lead them in one last hog call. Can you do us an honor?
I'll do my best.
Great stuff, Lienza. He's only been a Razorback for a handful of games. Kuhio Oloy, he's already got the whoop pig down, and it's been back-to-back nights with a massive hit. A really fun game, Pat, and the crowd matched the energy tonight as well. What a great atmosphere.
Yeah, outstanding for college baseball, outstanding for Rev Entertainment, the Texas Rangers. A lot of thanks to be had for putting together 2 great teams tonight.
And we're not done yet. Our second day in the books. One more day tomorrow from Globe Life Field in Arlington. It starts at 11 a.m. local time. Michigan takes on Arkansas, who win it tonight. For Lucas Haskins, everybody behind the scenes, part of our outstanding Flow College team. For Lienza Peroni down on the field. For Pat Combs, I'm Ben Wilson saying good night from Arlington, Texas. The game of the weekend so far, our final score, Arkansas 2, TCU 1. As this Amegy Bank College Baseball Series presented by Kubota continues.